My mother-in-law made a discriminatory insult to me. Now everyone hates her.
Good. Get her out of there.
Get her out of here.
I saw your opening to that one. That was really funny.
My husband and I have been together for 4 years, and we just got married in October of 2022. He's amazing and quite literally the man of my dreams, and I have an amazing life with him now. My parents and the rest of my family love him. I'm Native American and have a really big family. He comes to family events, holidays, cookouts, all that stuff, and I haven't heard a single member of my family say they didn't like him. By the way, this comes from user OKClassroom1548, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, my husband's family is very small. Other than his parents, he has one brother, his wife, and their 2 kids. His brother and his family live multiple states away, so we only see them around the holidays, and they don't really have much extended family. The only members of my husband's family I really see are his parents. His parents are the stereotypical white conservative small-town Christians. My husband is no longer religious. Mother-in-law stays at home and tends to the house while father-in-law works. I was worried about his parents' beliefs at first, as I practice my native tribe's spiritual beliefs, am very left-leaning socially and politically, don't dress very conventionally, and my husband and I have no desire to have children. But they were pretty chill with me when I met them, at least the first time.
Uh-oh.
His dad and I have had no problems, but over time, I have begun having trouble with his mother. She just flat out doesn't like me. According to my father-in-law, she has said I'm, quote, not the kind of woman that needs to be with her son.
And that's what we call racism.
On this, with the context, yeah, but it's like...
Called racism.
Yeah, well,
Not the kind of woman?
Imagine like...
After meeting her once?
You know, but it's like, I'm thinking of like, oh, it's like she's got tattoos and she wears dark eyeliner. It's like, if they could say it about that, you know,
But she's
it's
racist.
not necessarily racist yet, but given everything we know about them, it's not looking good.
Nope.
Her reasoning is that I don't, quote, act like a woman. I won't be a housewife and I have a man's job. I'm a flight paramedic for a service that airlifts critically unstable patients.
So
wow,
she's
that's
also
badass.
misogynistic.
So really what it is she hates women.
Well, there we have it.
Yes.
Oh, well,
You were
that's fine.
close.
No.
You were close.
Dang.
Did you just say, well, that's fair?
That's fine. No, I'm kidding.
Well, she could say that.
Yeah, I can make that joke.
Dang, I'm just going to hit that one more time because it's such a cool job. I'm a flight paramedic for a service that airlifts critically unstable patients. I love my job and I love being a paramedic. My husband has never expressed that he wants me to be a housewife or take up a stereotypically feminine job. If he did, we wouldn't be together. But apparently that's what his mother thinks he needs. When I first met his parents, we had been dating for about 5 months. Mother-in-law said at first that I didn't look like the kind of woman my husband would bring home. I didn't take it to heart. I figured she just didn't mean it in a harsh way. When they asked what I did for work, I told them I was a flight medic. Father-in-law said, that was awesome.
Yes, that is the correct response to that because it is awesome.
That is awesome. But wow, mother-in-law just kind of frowned. Didn't say anything. Whatever. She was pretty cordial in the beginning, but as my husband and I got more and more serious, she began to dislike me more. It started out with a snide comment like she would manage to sneak into conversations the fact that she thinks women should be homemakers or have jobs like teachers or caretakers. When I started working 48-hour shifts, she asked, who's going to take care of the housework? My husband told her that he would while I was gone those 2 days. She got upset and said that it wasn't fair that I made her son do it all by himself while I left.
It's not fair that I have to listen to you, mother-in-law, but here we are.
But you want her to do it all by herself?
Yeah, because she's like this.
I don't understand it.
She's got internalized misogyny.
Yeah, can you break down internalized misogyny?
Misogyny.
Well, I meant it in more like a
Why
clinical
do you sing
setting.
it in such a fun
But
tune?
breaking it down
You
in a
said break
musical
down.
setting, I think I accept that just as much, though. So let's continue.
Tony Spiliaco says mother-in-law is the worst kind of hypocritical misogynist. If she's so worried about gender norms and modesty, she'd want people like her daughter-in-law to be able to care for women. And Jilly Bean the Turtle says, is mother-in-law jealous or something because Opie's job is so cool? Avery from the Swamp says a paramedic is a caretaker.
Oh yeah, it just doesn't like why? I don't get it. I can't understand like being a woman and then being like
Can't understand being
I
a
can't-
woman.
I can't understand being a woman and then being like
I can't understand being a woman.
I hate women.
Well,
Like
it's just you grow up in this mindset where everyone's telling you that a woman is supposed to behave and supposed to act in
I'm
a
a
certain
guy's girl, you know?
way. And if you don't act in that certain way, then you won't receive attention or you won't receive praise or just like you won't have a good
Yeah.
life.
I just don't get it. Lady, she's getting
Yeah.
married to your son.
Yeah.
Or well, I guess at that point they're just dating. But
I think there is a certain level of jealousy that goes into it of seeing a woman live more freely, but also it's just so antithetical to how she's been taught
yeah.
how women are supposed to act
Yeah.
that like she immediately just hates it because it's different.
Hating things because it's different. Don't do that.
I do that.
My husband told her that we split household chores evenly and that it was fine. One day, we were over at their house and she went off on this rant about how she missed when women act like women and men acted like men. She started talking about how women needed to start being housewives and mothers again while the men worked and provided. While she never directly said it, I knew she included me in that. Father-in-law told her to calm down and that this wasn't the time for that kind of discussion.
Let's go back to the 1940s when all of the men were at war and all of the women were working in
Must be.
factories.
Yeah.
Is that what time do you mean? Women have always been in jobs.
Yeah, but only during wartime.
Only during no, I mean just in different cultures.
Yeah.
There's always been,
Whatever happened to the ladies' baseball league
They're bringing it back.
Dude, have you guys
with
seen
Tom Hands?
They're bringing it back.
A League of Their Own is a great movie
Yeah,
It
and they're
is
bringing
solid,
it back.
My
and a
favorite.
show.
One of my
They're
favorites.
supposedly bringing it back.
Rosie O'Donnell's best role.
There's no
Easily.
crying in baseball.
Yeah.
Easily. She got mad and said, well, it's just the truth, and looked in my direction. I'm not an idiot. I knew this rant was just a way for her to tell me how she felt without directly telling me.
Yeah, I'm sorry, she did directly tell you. She went, "It's just the truth."
And then just stared right at you. Just,
Actually, it might be better. I might get my point across if I go, "It's just the truth."
yeah.
That gets it better.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
What you looking at?
There you go.
Talking on my
What
face?
you looking at with them peepers?
Yeah.
What you looking at with them there peepers?
Those are headlights right there. Oh my god.
Dinner plates. My husband was pretty angry when we left, and I can't say I was too pleased. I told him she was allowed to have her opinion no matter how stupid it was, and I wasn't going to lose sleep over the fact she seemed to still be living in the 1950s. He said he was angry about the blatant disrespect. He talked to her about it and said she wouldn't do it again, so I managed to let that situation roll off my shoulders. Everything came to a head with her a few weeks ago. Father-in-law invited us over for dinner, so we went. My cousin's getting married in a few months, and my husband mentioned that we were going to the wedding. It will be a traditional wedding in accordance with our tribe's customs. Father-in-law said that was cool, and mother-in-law asked if there was going to be booze. I didn't really see how that was an issue, so I said yes. She responded with, Son, you don't need to be around all that drinking. My husband said it was fine and that it wouldn't be a problem. She said, No, you don't need to go there. It's not safe if there's going to be booze there. I said, Why wouldn't it be safe? It's not like we're going to be at a bar. It's just going to be my family. And I see you. Here comes the racism.
It's barreling towards you at breakneck speed.
Right. She then said, Well, some people can get violent when they drink.
And I bet she put a real big emphasis on the some people.
And then she pulled one of these. Some people get violent when they drink.
some people.
I don't know who it could be. Huh.
Ruh-roh.
Could it be people who look like you, OP?
Some people who look a certain way. I won't say who or how.
I won't say how, but they're all related to your wife. I knew exactly what some people meant, and that this was a discriminatory remark. I told her that no one would be getting violent and that everyone would have a designated driver. My husband then said that we were going, and there wasn't going to be any negotiation about it because he was a grown man and could make decisions for himself. That just made her more upset, and she started going off about how it wasn't a good idea for him to be around a bunch of wasted people. After father-in-law told her to calm down, my husband asked why it mattered so much to her anyway, because it's not like we were forcing her to go with us. She then said, Quote, I just don't think it's a good idea for you to be around a bunch of wasted Indians.
And there we have it.
And there it was.
And there's the racism.
And there it is.
Bloop, bloop, bloop. Racism.
Stamp it. Racism.
Yikes. Yikes. And if freaking everyone doesn't get up in arms and say, oh, mother, get out of the house, because that's incredibly, incredibly inappropriate. Don't ever talk to me ever again.
Yeah, it's like you realize that, well, I guess at this point they're not getting married yet, but it's like my girlfriend's native. And
Yeah.
you just like...
You just literally said something incredibly racist about her.
Do you think I'm going to be like, you know what? I'm sorry, babe. It's time to break up. You heard my
Sorry.
mom.
That's
You
my
heard what my mommy
mom.
said.
She said, I can't date you
Yep.
because she's racist.
You heard what my mommy said.
Yeah.
You gotta change it. Just change it, and then we can get married.
Yeah, just
Change. That's it.
just change.
Simple.
So I was in shock. I knew this was what she meant, but I didn't think she had the balls to flat out say it. You cannot be serious, I said. She then proceeded to tell me, I am serious. I know how you people are, and I don't want my son around it. My husband began to lose it and started yelling at her. I honestly didn't have a response to that. I was just dumbfounded, as was my father-in-law. My husband told her he would not stand for her blatant disrespect and hatefulness any longer and was not going to allow her to be racist towards me. She then said, I can't believe you're seriously choosing this red-skinned witch over your own mother. I gave birth to you. OP says, I told her to go F herself and left out the front door with my husband following me. She came running out the door after him, begging him not to leave. He then told her, no, F you. You cease to exist to me
Good.
from this moment on, and I never want to hear from you or see you again.
Good.
Folks, that's the blueprint right there. Of what
That's
you do.
the only way to
That's-
react to that.
That's the blueprint for how to appropriately respond.
I mean, if a family member's saying that in general, awful. Already, like, why would you even want to be around them? But like, to say that to your partner, the only response is to be like, well, I never am going to see you ever again. Bye.
Signing off, Chief. I'll see you never. That's how you got to be.
Said it with her chest too, by the way.
Yeah, with her chest.
And she's like, I'm right.
And double down into like the racist terminology too.
I'm right.
Yeah. Yeah. He was shaking with anger when he got in the car and told me he was done with her and her BS and that we wouldn't ever be going back over there. Ever since then, she's been blowing up our phones saying she's sorry and begging to reconcile. I don't know what to do. My husband is angry and upset that his mother is like this. Does anyone have any advice on how to deal with the situation or a situation like this? And there are comments. Yeah, y'all did it. It's
Yeah.
done now.
The thing is, like, unfortunately, I don't think there's any way to quote unquote like deal with her
Mm-hmm.
beyond going no contact.
Yeah, your husband can process his own emotions and
Yeah.
like maybe go to therapy or like, find a
Yeah.
resource for that. But it's like,
You don't
in
owe
terms of-
her teaching her how to be a good person.
if
is not your
you are
problem.
my wife, if if OP is my partner, if OP is my wife, and my parents or my mom or my whoever pulled something like that, I'm no longer
yeah.
interacting with them
No.
until they I don't know,
Have a huge change of heart and
Until they go to
completely
college.
apologize and yeah.
until they get educated
Yeah.
to some degree, because
And come back and
a
are
lot
like, oh
of
my
times
God.
those kinds of positions, they just come from a place of deeply rooted ignorance
Oh yeah.
and just fear and
Absolutely.
not understanding anything outside of your own tiny little bubble.
Well, we already know she's got
You
this like
know?
misogynistic mindset that comes
Right,
from
she's-
fear and not understanding things that are different.
In a tiny
And now
little
we
bubble.
have this other side of her, the racist side of her, that also fears people that are different. And there's this like huge, especially in more like small town or religious or conservative areas, there's this like narrative that's being fed to people that a lot of Native American tribes are like all these stereotypes, and then like just like people of color are like stealing jobs, and it's like all of the stuff that's being fed to them, and it's like you can't you or your husband cannot like fix that or take that away.
Yeah.
That is not like the job of one person. That is for them to have to go on some sort
Yeah.
of journey, hopefully, that they do go
Yeah,
on.
years
But
it would take years for
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
trust or respect or my tolerance
You can't
of them to
reprogram
be
them.
to come back.
Yeah.
It would be a long, long process. Comment 1 says, you did the right thing by leaving. You think because she's saying she's sorry that she feels bad about what she said? No, she is just sorry she got caught in the consequences. No one accidentally says racist and misogynistic things. People who don't actually believe that crap don't ever say it unintentionally. It's the racists and misogynists who can't hold it in for very long who do that. I'm so sorry for you and your SO that this horrible thing happened to you. You don't need to be exposed as someone who hates you for no reason. Your SO will likely struggle with this, but he did the right thing too. If you decide to listen to her apology, that doesn't mean you have to accept it. I'd let her know that you will never forget it and any future children will not be subjected to it. She has lost any privilege to you and them and will have to earn your grace to see them. Although I recommend not seeing her ever again if possible. She won't really change, and why should you subject yourself to that pain? Best of luck to you, and there is an update.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like straight up systemic 180 personality flip is what she would need
Yeah.
for me to be like, all right, you can come around again.
But it's so hard for people
I'm
to
gonna need
change
you to
those
write me an
mindsets.
essay.
It's so hard for people to get over that hatred.
Yeah, no, it is.
Yeah.
I would like straight up. I would run it like I'm not even kidding. I would run it like a college course.
Yeah.
I'd run it like a test. I'd be like, all right, this is our yearly check-in. Write me an
How do
essay
you-
on
yeah.
exactly how wrong you were that day.
And why
and
you were wrong.
Why and how it makes you feel.
And systems of oppression.
Yes.
And why you feared losing your system of power and your place in the caste system of,
5,000 words, get back to me.
Yeah.
And then I'll grade it and we'll see where we're at.
Yeah, we'll see if you can come back around.
Okay, there's an update here. Let's go ahead and read it. The reason I didn't have much of an adverse reaction to her words is because sadly, these are all things that I've heard my whole life. I'm not white passing, and you take one look at me and tell I'm native. I think what my mother-in-law said shocked so many people because many think explicit racism like that is a thing of the past, when it is still very much alive in the minds of some.
Oh, yeah.
After the incident took place, my husband and I went home, and mother-in-law tried to call and text both of us to beg for forgiveness and told us she's sorry and wants to make up.
No, she's not. You
She's
don't
sorry you have
say
consequences.
those words and throw around racist remarks and slurs.
Yeah,
And then
was
just get to say that
she
you're
drunk?
sorry. Yeah.
She's like, you don't need to be drinking around those people. I know exactly what those kind of people are like.
Yeah. No, it's not an accident.
I blocked her, and my husband told her to leave him alone until he and I worked through this. My husband also told his brother about this, and he was horrified as well. My father-in-law contacted us and said he was sorry for what had happened. He said he didn't know she had thoughts like this, and in the moment he was so shocked with what she said that he didn't know what to say or do. He asked if it would be possible for my husband and I to speak with just him to see what he could do going forward, and we agreed.
I think that's fair.
That is
It seems
fair.
like he has. It seems
Yeah,
like he's
can you
very
imagine?
open and like against this.
Can you imagine?
What?
Well, like he
Oh,
said,
your-
it's
your
like
partner?
he had no idea.
Yeah, it's like
Imagine he says this stuff. You're just like, all right, maybe just like cool it. It's fine if there's alcohol there. It's
Yeah.
whatever. And she's
and
like,
she's like-
it's those people, and you're just
he's
like
but
you
I
look
always-
like you do like Jim Halpert look at the camera.
But the thing is, I always wonder if those people actually, like how much you actually didn't know about your partner, especially after all of those years. I'm wondering, I think that perhaps he could have been aware of some measure of like racism in her, or stereotyping that she was.
Well,
you
all
know,
those
doing-
boxes that they check of like conservative, white, Christian, like
Yeah.
rural, like it's like they live in such a microcosm
That
where
they're not.
none of their boundaries or like whatever their worldview is never tested.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I was like,
So
maybe
you just don't know. They've
she
been in the
just
same
didn't-
place forever.
He wasn't, or she wasn't around any
Exactly.
other non-white people or like non-traditional people,
Yeah.
so it just never came up in that way.
Exactly.
Like she was
Never-
still spouting maybe some of those ideas, kind of on a less aggressive and in your face
Yeah.
kind of way. But yeah,
You'd think you'd know. We ended up having a video call between me, my husband, father-in-law, and my husband's brother, who will be henceforth known as brother-in-law. Brother-in-law said that there wasn't much he could do because he is several states away, but he would be supporting us in whatever decision we made, and that he would be sending a strongly worded message to mother-in-law. Father-in-law was very emotional about the situation and said he didn't want to lose his son over what mother-in-law said, and that he would do anything to keep contact with my husband. He was so upset and confused as to why she thought the way that she did and why it was all coming out now. I said that she may have always felt this way, but because they live and have
exactly
always
what we
lived
said.
in pretty white communities, I was the first person she knew to take it out on. Everyone agreed to that.
That was exactly
We nailed
what we
it.
said.
High five. A high five cam. We need a high five
We
camera.
need a specific camera that just goes.
Yeah, we need to we need to set that up. Father-in-law said he wanted to suggest her to go to therapy or some sort of counseling to work out these feelings within herself, and that he planned to tell her that she had a choice. Either seek help to change her narrow view of the world or lose both her son and him. He said that I make my husband happy, and as his father, there's nothing more he could ever want. W dad.
Yeah.
W dad.
Really like just
Huge L mother.
Yeah.
Crazy. We all agreed that some counseling would definitely be beneficial to her if she was willing to go. My husband said he doesn't want to talk to mother-in-law right now, and that he didn't know when or if he would be able to. He said that if he had anything to say to her or if there was an emergency, he would go through father-in-law to get to her. In the meantime, he will be blocking her number. I said I just didn't want any contact at all, and we all left it at that. I also told my parents and some elders in my community, and they were upset too, because this is stuff they have heard as well, but they commended my husband for having my back and said they understood my decision to go no contact. And that's the situation right now. I want to thank everyone that left kind words and advice on the original post. I made it to see if we had maybe done something wrong, or if the decision to go no contact was a bad one, but I now see that this is probably the best option. While this situation and what was said upsets me, the kind words on my first post reminds me that there is still good in this world, and if anyone else is going through a similar situation, I'll tell you what my dad told me. You can never force people to be kind to you, but you can make the choice to surround yourself with kind people. Thank you all. And we have some comments here. Comment number 1. What age is mother-in-law? I'm just wondering if it came so out of left field for father-in-law, if it might be that she's in early stages of one of those forms of dementia where you lose your filter. Not that she didn't maybe always secretly hold those views, but I'm wondering if she's now got less of a social filter about expressing them. Even if she's not that age, I know someone 54 with a recent diagnosis of early dementia, and maybe that's why it's on my mind. Besides counseling, maybe have her checked out with a medical doctor too. And I think, again, that's really only something she'll have to consent to. With the therapy and the counseling and any medical stuff.
And also sometimes
She has to
we
consent.
want to, we want to make up excuses and find out anyway for a loved one or like a previously loved one to make sense for something that they've done to wrong us. And sometimes it's just like
Could be.
they just aren't a good person.
And like it said, it's like even if that's still like the rot is still in there.
Yeah.
Like even if it's like, oh, well now she just doesn't have the filter for it. It's like, well, she still
believes that.
Yeah, so that's still an issue. Anyway, we have a second update. Hi again. It's been a couple months since I last posted about my situation in which my mother-in-law called me a slur and said my family was a bunch of wasted Indians. I figured I'd conclude the story since this mess is finally coming to an end. Long story short, father-in-law is divorcing mother-in-law.
Makes sense. Good on the father-in-law. Makes
Yeah.
sense.
Consequences of it. Knock, knock, knock. It's the
your
consequences of her
consequences.
actions.
The mother's mindset's like, why does everyone think I'm wrong?
Me.
Why does
Everyone's
everyone hate me?
turning
I'm
against
right.
Yeah. And then she's gonna blame it on OP.
He's like, you've all been drinking with those Indians, haven't you?
It's racist.
I know it. It was the Indians. They conspired against me and ruined my marriage. That's what she'll say. Mother-in-law went to counseling twice a week for about 3 weeks until she eventually decided that she had enough of it. I guess she thought that was enough to make my father-in-law and husband happy, but she showed no real remorse for her actions or any change in her mindset. Father-in-law told us that they had gotten into an argument about how I was taking their son away from them.
Whoa.
To which
I
father-in-law-
almost freaking predicted it.
Yeah, pretty much. No,
Nostradamus.
I know you're going to say Nosferatu.
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 I know. I was trying to figure out how to make a pun out of it with your name.
Oh,
it's Nostradamus. There we go. Sorry, it took me a second.
Nostra never miss.
Dang, you just missed with that one.
What? That was great.
Oh, wait. Oh, were you saying that to me?
Yeah.
Oh, dang. See, sorry. I was
like, Nostra, you never miss.
sorry. I was in slam dunk mode for some reason. It was because I gassed you up.
I was freaking
So
complimenting you.
I gave you the gas up with Nostradamus.
And then immediate dunk.
And then I was like, my brain was preset for, okay, slam dunk mode.
Yeah.
I got to bring her back down. Okay.
Back my compliment.
That's fine. That's fine. I did miss. I missed right there.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm sure that was fun to listen to. To which father-in-law said that she had drove my husband away from them, not me.
It was like pasta.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay,
What?
sorry. That I did not compute that for a second. So that's the father-in-law being like, "No, wife,
Yeah,
you're the
drove.
reason
Yeah.
they're gone."
Yeah.
Mother-in-law was very angry that father-in-law continued to take our side on the situation instead of hers. This erupted into a very heated argument between the two of them, and father-in-law didn't go into extensive detail. She ended up saying more bad things about me, about how I tore her family apart, made a mockery of her, stole her son, and pushed her husband and other son away from her. In reality, if she just would have kept her mouth shut, this all could have been avoided.
True.
My husband is pissed, naturally. I can't say I feel much emotion about it, though. I feel bad for my husband and his family as they are losing contact with their mother and wife, but then again, I also see a bitter old racist getting what she deserves. It's a crappy situation overall. Father-in-law said mother-in-law was so angry she left the house and is staying with a friend for the time being while lawyers sort things out. Father-in-law is still very upset, which I understand. He told me he felt terrible about the whole thing, but he didn't want to remain married to an evil woman and someone who would drive his children away. He told me that he understands he's not a perfect man and has made mistakes and not always been the most accepting or open-minded, but he wants to become a better person and try to understand people of other cultures and identities. I greatly respect that. There you go. He's like, I acknowledge my worldview is narrow. Let's widen it.
And that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to, like, the real process is understanding that you have certain biases and certain, like, honestly, probably racist ideology in you if you're growing up, especially in a conservative area or like a predominantly white area. And it's like, okay, I actually need to work on those and educate myself.
Yeah.
That's what you should do.
In an attempt to lift his spirits, I offered to take him to a powwow a couple weeks ago, and he accepted. My husband has gone with me several times, but this would be father-in-law's first experience with anything like that. I introduced him to my family, and he was very respectful.
Yes.
He had a blast.
Yes.
We danced, sang, listened to the music, and ate until our stomachs were about to burst. He thanked my family and I for letting him be a part of this, and that he hadn't had this much fun since he was a young man. I haven't had this much fun since I was just but a young sprout.
This is so cute.
My family and I thanked him for being a good person and sticking beside my husband and I through such a messy situation. My father tried to console him by saying that sometimes the best way to grow is to cut ties with toxic people who will hold you back. Bromance? Honestly, bromance between father and father-in-law?
Love it.
Yes, let's
Love
get
it.
the bromance. Honestly, I think this is the best this could have gone, and I'm so happy my husband didn't have to cut ties with both of his parents because he's always been so close to his father. I can see that my father-in-law is trying to be a good person and become a more accepting and supportive guy, and I'm very happy about that. And by the way, you can be very happy about the full episodes with stories like this that we have on Spotify and iHeartRadio and Apple Podcasts and wherever you listen to podcasts. All you have to do is search OK Storytime right here. It's on my hat.
Oh.
And if you search our name, you will find what is now 52 days, 1,248 hours worth of stories to listen to. Go do that after this.
Do it right now. Not right now. You still
Not right now.
Not
Not right now. But soon. We do have a little bit more story.
Let's get into it.
Let's go ahead and finish it off. I'd like to again say thank you to those of you who left such positive comments on my previous posts. It really means a lot to me and makes me happy to know that there are people with good hearts out there. I've seen that another subreddit saw my post and many people said nice things there too. And to any natives who have dealt with or are dealing with discriminatory comments, discrimination, or being called racial slurs, never stop existing because our existence is the biggest form of rebellion. We're still here and we're not going anywhere. Thanks to all your kind internet stranger comments. Peace and love always. And we do have some comments here. Keep taking your father-in-law to powwows. He may meet himself a nice native woman. That's a good idea right there. And that is the end of that story.
Man, it worked out.
It did.
I mean, obviously the mother sucks.
Yeah,
She's
but
a terrible person. But
worked out for-
father's not. He's cool.
worked out for the best involved.
But that's the end of that story. So
I decided to take my friend to court after she tried to emotionally manipulate.
Get that bag, girl.
Get it. I, 30 female, and let's call her Amy, 25 female, met through some mutual friends. Bob, 28 male, Sarah, 31 female, and my 29 female. Bob and Amy had moved in together as roommates. I live in a city about 2 hours away from everyone in the group. We try to hang out as much as we can, and we talk regularly. By the way, this comes from Hewley Turtles. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. They were getting back on their feet after some impossible roommate issues with their last homes. I was doing well financially, so I spotted them some money to get them into an apartment. That is a pretty generous thing to do. I had lent Amy a bit of money for an event ticket so she didn't lose what she had already put into it. Yeah, I was dumb. I regret it. All in all, I was about $800 deep in with this friendship. It was very clear that it was just a loan and she could pay me back a little at a time. Bob paid me back very quickly.
If you give your friends money, it's a gift.
It's gone. It goes.
Yep. Friends or family.
Oh, God. That's even more family, honestly. But we're family. Over the last 6 months, we noticed that they were always paying her way when we hung out. And she was always saying, I feel so bad. You have to pay for me. I swear I'll pay it back. She's constantly posting on social media about her money troubles and other drama. I casually mentioned that she and Bob should sell her tickets and get caught up. She insisted she was fine and would be going despite everything. She ended up going to the event with me, my partner, and Bob. Little did I know, my partner was going to propose. And I said yes.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Partner's name?
Partner is Partner.
Okay, sweet.
Partner.
Yay.
At the event, she was way out of line with her partying, making stupid decisions, pushing to go harder. I told her I was uncomfortable, but she just got upset with me. After the event, I informed the rest of our friend group and we started to point it out to her. She's heading down a dark path and we are very worried about her. She insists that she can handle herself. Tickets go on sale for a large event. We go every year and get an Airbnb for it. Everyone buys their own ticket. I get the Airbnb, but we will split it evenly between the 7 people. What is this niche event? I'm guessing Coachella. That's what I'm guessing.
Stagecoach?
Stagecoach, something like that.
Bonnaroo.
Some sort of big music festival.
Mhm.
7 people, Airbnb. That's what I'm feeling. This will be the last time we do this as a group because my partner and I need to save up for the wedding. Cute. We set some boundaries since the last event with Amy. 1, everyone pays me back for the Airbnb before or at the event. 2, I think it's got to be before.
Oh,
right?
Definitely before.
Got to be before.
Yeah, like what we did.
Riley
Booked it. Boom.
Riley immediately paid me back. I booked an Airbnb for the wedding we're going to. And he's the only one so far. So we'll get there. We'll get there. I haven't been on
low
top
key,
of it.
you could probably send a request like $20 more.
No.
That was me, bro. Oh yeah. They'd be like, well, how much is it again? 200.
But I appreciate you. Pay your own way for food, souvenirs, etc. Number 3, no strangers at the Airbnb.
Mm-hmm.
If the group doesn't know them, assume it's a no. Number 4, it's going to be chill. We aren't going to be up at 4 a.m. playing music and being loud. Again, I think it's a music festival. I started looking for a new job because the place I was working at was getting toxic and I'm super stressed out. We are looking to move cities and still be close to my partner's work. Amy informs me that her and her friend had dropped out and couldn't go. She would like to invite a different friend. I told her she knows the rules and they will need to pay for their spot in the Airbnb. I was stressed and didn't dig deeper.
This is not a good time
Eh?
for Amy to be pulling these shenanigans.
Dude, Amy, listen, OP's trying to save up for the marriage. The workplace is toxic. We cannot afford any more stress.
Yes.
Okay, we were already stressed enough.
I agree. Also, looking at the ages, Amy is about 5 years younger than everyone. So she's 25. Everyone's like in their 30s. I don't know. I was just trying to see a way to give Amy an excuse.
Oh, of why? Yeah, I mean, it could be a maturity thing. She is 5 years younger. 25 is not a child, but I do think there could be
A little bit of that.
Yeah. At the end of the day, like, you know, you can still be older and less mature. And everything.
Yeah.
So it might be a little bit of that, even though she's in her mid-20s. She informs the rest of the group that I had approved a guy, Josh, to stay with us. No one except Bob has met him. Bob doesn't like or trust Josh. Bob will back out if Josh is staying at the Airbnb. Sarah and May are mad because I approved it without talking to them. At this point, I had totally forgotten about Amy asking me to begin with. When the group told me, I was completely unaware of who this guy was. I informed them that I assumed that Amy would have talked to him about it first. So basically, like it was a mistake of negligence. OP just thought that she had already gotten everyone else's approval, and she was like the last yes.
Got it. I see. Miscommunication.
Yeah. So I thought that it would have been discussed with the group when they were hanging out at some point. Amy was mad, but I was put off by how underhanded it felt. The answer is a no.
That's one of the 4 rules.
Bob or Josh, get on out of here. Because Bob doesn't trust him. We don't want Josh knowing where we're staying. It's now 2025. She hasn't paid me back for what I lent her last year.
You were better off putting all that money into meme coins or sports betting.
That is true. You were literally better taking $799, buying a giant can of Vaseline, pouring it on the $799, lighting a match, throwing the match in it, watching it explode. A car catches on fire. That car explodes. A whole building falls down, crushing your burnt, crisp dollars. You would still have $1 more than you do today.
That is true.
You would literally be better off doing that.
That
You would
is
literally
true.
be better off doing that. She had lost her job working at the same company as Bob and May. She is behind on rent and bills. And she's going to some big event splitting an Airbnb.
I think you can go home and figure out how to pay for your home.
Yeah, this is I'm getting some ICUs of the financial situation causing more loan asking, more desperation.
And I know she's not just doing this to OP. Because hinted before, everyone pays Amy's way. Right now, I feel Amy's about to be like, no more. Is everyone else going to put that with her and be like, here's my line too?
Yeah.
Or
OP to Amy. Like, OP's
Yeah.
like, hey, I'm not Amy. I'm not going to let you do loans anymore.
That's what I'm about to see. And I feel like she's like ringing everyone else. Like, how much money has she spent, like, borrowed from Bob? Sarah, how much? May?
That's a lot of people. You know,
If it's 800
bucks a
apiece.
pop.
Yeah, that's like,
That's money.
yeah,
That's money amount.
3,600.
Ooh, quick maths. It's a lot of her posting online, asking for people to spot her money, drama, personal loss, literally a picture of her crying and holding her passed away pet, and her mental breakdowns. Now that's content.
That is content.
Now that's content.
If you
Volume
did
7.
it right, you wouldn't have to ask people for money. That's all I'm saying.
Oh yeah, Amy needs some help. It seems not another loan. That's not going to help her. I don't think. I don't think another loan is the actual solution to the problem. Teach her to fish. You know what I'm saying? Along the way, we're trying to comfort Amy. She just wants to relax and party. Everyone, including Amy, has their ticket now. Bob is considering selling his ticket. Amy needs $250 to keep Bob from selling his ticket. We informed her that if Bob sells, so should she. It's not fair to her to go if he's covering half of the bills. Amy is
Bob and Amy together? I kind of want to assume so.
I don't think so. I am a little bit confused on the Bob and half because OP bought the Airbnb and split it 7 ways, and I thought everyone got their own ticket, so I'm a little bit confused.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get some
Clarity.
Yeah. Amy is coming to me acting like everyone is just bullying her over her getting a job. She's put in 38 applications in over a month. I found out that she had easy interviews, but doesn't bring what she needs or shows up underdressed. Nothing she was telling me is adding up. I told Amy that's not really enough. I fill out 200 applications over a few months. The market is tough. She can DoorDash. She said she has, but it's just enough to cover the gas.
And update, thank you everyone. They're roommates.
They're roommates. Oh, Bob and Amy?
Ooh, that gets old quick.
Yeah.
I love you, Sophia, but if I had to pay for a lot of your stuff, it'd be hard to love you as much as I do now.
You don't.
I know. I'm just saying, like, if this was the dynamic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but
You messed up.
probably vice versa. I know Sophia gets sick of unloading and loading the dishwasher, and I'm trying to be better at that. That's my way.
Our boy is working on himself, ladies and gentlemen.
I did take out the boxes,
Yes, and I appreciate that.
Got the box?
and I appreciate you.
Oh, shucks.
Sarah and Bob let me know that she is door dashing from 8 p.m. to 12 a.m., then hanging out with Josh or Ty, someone else who the group doesn't trust. I mean, that was more than I thought she would be, to be honest.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be like 1 hour a week or something.
Yeah, we need to go to 2 or 3 a.m. though.
Yeah, or just like a full, or even just like, I wonder, a full, like, regular 9 to 5 work day.
DoorDashing, yeah.
Maybe that'll
true,
give you
true.
something and less crazy hours. But anywho, they both have a history of using substances until early in the morning. Amy then sleeps all day. So 1 to 2 weeks before the big concert. Notice how I called that. This is the first time it was announced as a concert. I just had to pat myself on the back because, yeah. Amy finds out that there are other concerts. She wants to go and go hard. Amy got aggressive with another friend of ours. She accused our friend of selling things and not sharing. And this friend wasn't doing anything of that. What are they doing? Putting their bike on Facebook Marketplace? And she's like, hey, you're not giving me some money for...
I should have some of that.
Yeah, hey, your bike is our bike.
I rode it once.
I rode it once, so I have like at least like 25% ownership on that mountain bike.
You know what? And since you did this, give me 50.
Yes. Yeah, how dare you? We need to interest.
Yep.
This is shark loan interest territory. you know?
Exactly. And if you don't give it to me right now, just give me the whole thing. Just give me the whole thing.
Yeah. Amy understands interest when she is owed money, but has no idea what the concept is when she owes money to others.
That is wild. You owe OP so much money, but you're trying to get money from someone that sold their own thing. I can't even think of anything that people share and sell.
Maybe a TV.
Okay.
But like, dude, there's no way. I don't think they live together.
Yeah, no. Oh, wait.
Ooh.
Your poison tonic might be
There might be rugs.
subs.
There might be substances. Yeah.
Because she does do that with the other two peeps.
She does. We don't know what kind of substances she's doing. It could be a little wake and bake, but waking at night and baking.
And I will say I have been simulating a game that sells rugs
You
with
have.
our producer.
Yeah.
And I do know what it's like to share. Mm-hmm. You're like, hey, man.
I have a gambling a problem
She
in this
has
game.
a very severe gambling problem on that game.
Wow.
She does. But like, she'll take 40 and then, sell it. Great. But like, you got to put it in the ATM when you're done. You don't keep it for yourself. You got to put the money in the ATM. Share.
Can you choose your things? Can I like choose to be a gambling addict and then
Yeah. I mean, there's a casino. You can go.
But I mean, is it like a character trait you give to the
No,
person?
I
and then
just
they-
went to the casino and I kept gambling.
Yeah, it's just something you pick up.
running the slots.
Yeah.
It's natural. It's organic.
It's organic.
Non-GMO. At this point, Sarah and May told her to stop going to concerts, clearly stating that she can't afford to go and that she needs to take a break for her mental health, explaining that they would be bad friends to let her spend her last $30 on a ticket. Quick poll, tell or not. I'm curious if you guys agree that the friends should kind of have this like obligation to tell her or not. Very curious to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, I think
Oh, no.
I'm gonna be taking a step. Because you show me my friends, and I'll show you who I am. If I have someone that's not paying people back, it's kind of not, bettering themselves as a person. Iron sharpens iron. Brother sharpens a brother. I think it's time to take a couple steps back here.
Oh, trying to sharpen a brother, huh?
Oh yeah, always.
I'm right here.
Get over here. I'll sharpen you. I'll sharpen you right up.
No. So let us know in the poll what you think. Now, this is when things start getting bad. She starts replying with, well, if you don't want me there, I guess I'll just miss out. She was told to stop because it felt manipulative. All along, she's been posting online asking to borrow money and other things. Her birthday is coming up, and she just wants to have a good time. Birthday month. Hey, come on, Sophia. I mean, back me up here. Birthday
I
month.
love a birthday month. I'm all for a birthday month.
Yes.
I've got at least 3 birthday celebrations every year.
If we have our last $30, that's $1 of birthday month gifts today. That's all I'm saying. Or we could spend it all at once and then spend another $3,000 on a credit card. By the way, a poll has voted and they said 100% tell the friend. If they have their last $30, be like, maybe not the best idea to spend that.
Yeah,
I think you're right, chat.
exactly.
I think you're right. On to big concert weekend. She gets dropped off at the Airbnb by Ty and or Josh. Remember the evil Josh. While I'm setting boundaries for her for the weekend, she states that she will not be doing anything crazy. She will be sober besides booze or ganja. And we will have long talks while getting ready. It seems like we'll have a good weekend.
Wait, that's not sober though.
She's sober. She's just guzzling booze and living in a cloud of the devil's lettuce.
That's not sober though, right?
But she's sober, except for with booze and devil's lettuce. That's what she's doing.
What?
That's where she's
Where
at
are
right
we
now.
going?
It's a California sober.
Ah, I see.
Except
I
that's
see.
except that's when you don't drink. Bless you. This is California sober 2.0.
See, to me,
Florida
that's like
sober?
Oh, sorry, what?
Florida sober?
Florida sober. Florida sober is you just do meth and bath salts. That's it.
Yeah, I didn't know. I thought that
Portland
was
sober?
the worst things you could do, or not worst things, but like, you're definitely not sober doing those.
No,
things.
you're not at all. One is not at all.
I see now.
This is the new California sober. But anywho, I give Amy advice for life and being a functional adult. I inform her that the only things that will stop me from being her friend are lying or trying to manipulate me. I subtly drop hints through stories on how the real friends in life want to see you thrive. People who post super personal things on their social media typically only want something for people. Be careful because it does not look good, especially when trying to find a job. Real quick here.
Yep.
Gut check, Sophia and Riley. Super
Yes.
quick. I don't like the
Savior complex.
like the savior complex, the kind of like little arrogant. I don't know, what do you think, Sophia?
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah.
He's big sistering her.
Yeah, like it was kind of like unwarranted. And I think, it's fair if she's like, hey, like you've been posting a lot about personal stuff on social media. Maybe some of that involves OP. And she's like, hey, you're kind of like blowing up my spot or something like that. But I think just like dropping all these hints and coded in stories and this like weird like motivational speaker life advice unwarranted, maybe a little bit much.
Yeah.
But this is the timeline with everything we found out later. Foreshadowing.
Ooh.
Day 1. Amy tries to convince May to not tell the group that she is not sober for the weekend or has that stuff. So we went from sober only on drinks and weed to now just not sober on just we're just doing everything. We are doing everything. That's insane.
Oh,
She already had 2 things that she could do. Oh my
birthday
God.
month.
Birthday month. Amy claimed it was a gift for her birthday and she didn't pay anything for it. Dude, you and Sam have been calling things right before a sentence lately. It's kind of crazy.
I don't even read that.
Right?
I couldn't read it. Wow.
It was a large amount, and Amy gets a very generous gift from someone at the event, like $200 or more worth of clothes at the event. Wow. After the show, May wants to go to bed. Amy wants to stay up, and Amy sleeps on the couch. So day 2 at the event, Amy ends up in medical care.
What?
Oh dear, things are escalating kind of quickly. But the group didn't see that text until later. Amy claims her friend, we think Ty, but she didn't say, was the one in medical care. So basically lying, I think. She was just helping him out. The group agrees we need to have a talk with Amy this weekend because she's freaking us out.
Oh, so she wasn't hurt. Just one of her friends was hurt.
I think she lied and said Amy ends up in medical care, but the group didn't text later. Amy claims her friend Ty was the one in the medical area.
Got it.
Yeah, I think it was her. At the Airbnb, she informs us that she wants Ty to pick her up to go hang out with them for her birthday, of course. She says she'll be back in the morning. She doesn't seem okay, but we feel like it's not a good idea to force her to stay with us. She trusts them. Day 3, Amy returns in a complete spiral. Nice.
What was rule number 4? Have a chill weekend.
Yeah.
Rule number 4, broken out.
Yeah. Honestly, I think we've broken all of the rules so far. There was Maybe not. There was
She hasn't invited anyone that they don't know.
Josh. She invited Josh.
Oh, she did. Okay, I missed that.
And then she invited Josh. She's not having a chill weekend.
She didn't pay him back.
She's not respecting the curfew. She's like trying to stay up and party. I think she's broken all the rules. Bawling and refusing to talk to anyone except May. She quickly packs up her things and leaves with Ty. We want to reach out. We don't hear much. We try to not let it ruin our weekend. Bob goes home because he has to work in the morning, and the rest of us go to the event and have a great time. A week or so after the concert, I hear nothing. I reach out to inform her that I'm moving cities and I need her to pay me back. I know that she lied and need to build back trust by paying me back. She responds to inform that she has a job lined up and she will pay me back. I call it $600 even, so we're giving discounts, right? We're making deals over here with the Airbnb she still owes me for. So that's even lower.
Dang.
I'll take the $200 off for gas/food because that's just what good friends do. May, Sarah, and Bob have the talk she's been avoiding. Amy's mental health is suffering and she's losing the group because of her actions. She swears she isn't buying anything. Excuses about Ty and Josh. When she was confronted about lying to us, she says that she didn't want us to know because she was scared of the reactions and regular user was being used. No one called her a regular user, just that her behavior is showing all the signs that she's not okay. Bottom line is we need to see the work she's putting in. Back off events and stuff. Stop posting everything online and getting caught up. Everyone will be there for her and we want to see her thrive. It's hard work, but it does need to be done. She hits up the friend she accused of selling for a birthday gift.
Earlier, remember the bike scenario thing?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. This friend doesn't sell anything and has been sober for 8 years. So this person literally not even selling anything. They're just like, you sold your toaster oven and I need a part of it. But
hints of her not
being
having it
being all there. That's great call out. Amy goes to more events. Nothing has changed. Everyone just starts getting distant. Amy is removed from a chat for a bachelorette party we're invited to. She freaks out and starts complaining to May and Bob. She was uninvited because it's a huge financial burden. The bride didn't want to push that on her because she is posting about having no money. That kind of tracks. Another week, Amy reaches out a few days before she knows we will all be hanging out at Sarah's birthday. We're going to a local bar just to chill. Unfortunately, I don't know if Amy is in a chill mode right now.
No.
I don't know if Amy's on some chill out vibes.
So I don't think she needs to be around a bar right now.
That is another great point, Sir Riley. Amy wants us to know that she's trying and just wants to update us. She sends me a $50 payment because that's all she can afford. My response was, your balance is $550. I felt like she was fishing for an invite so she could come and we would pay for her drinks.
Ooh, break even.
Right? Yeah. That was the story. Last night, actually, one done millennial sent in a story. And basically this friend kept being like, hey, could you loan me like $2,000? I'll give you a $200 down payment. And it's like, no, stupid. Like that is, I know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're investing.
Yeah.
You're getting a 10x return out of me.
You're not a Nigerian prince. I know what this is.
Not today, baby. On Sarah's birthday weekend, I drive down to hang out with the group. She posts things like, at least these tacos never hurt me like people do, and lip syncing to super emotional songs about being better off alone, posting a picture at a different bar with another group. Amy reaches out again. I confronted her about the posts. Trying to ruin Sarah's birthday by making her feel guilty is a new low for her. The only thing Amy is saying is that she is not trying to be that way. Those aren't her intentions. People are wanting to take her out because they just want to hang out. They only brought her one drink. Why are you being so mean? Everyone has gotten on my case for that already. The lip syncing was because of a guy. What is it? Is it a crime to lip sync now? That I don't understand.
Yeah, leave her alone, OP.
Let her. Yeah, I'm getting kind of more and more like, oh, let me like sit you down and give you advice. Oh, let me like, it's a bit much.
OP's very frustrated with this person, and anything this person does, she's complaining about.
Now she's lip syncing?
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
With tacos?
I think, OP, you need to stop the TED Talk lectures and start just giving yourself a little distance to hang out with someone who's maybe not constantly hitting you up for a loan.
Give yourself some peace. Because, I don't know, if you give someone advice and they don't take it, and you keep giving advice and they don't take it. What are we doing here?
What are we doing? What are we doing? This method doesn't make sense. It doesn't matter if she's not trying to be that way. It's how it's coming across. It's all super immature, and she needs to stop. Again, OP. I don't know if
this must end.
The tacos have gone too far. It's now Queso Taco Tuesday. They're full of cheese.
I'm done with it.
All right, OP. You're losing us with every sentence, OP. I can't lie.
Just block her, bro. Just block her.
Yes. Come on. It's not that deep. It's like so not that deep. Although there is a 600, and that, I mean, listen, $600 is a lot of money.
It is.
So and maybe OP's in the position she's like, yo, I kind of really need that 600 back. Maybe that helps make rent or stuff.
Yeah.
But if $600 is not make or break, give yourself a piece of space. Like, you know.
Agreed.
I think it's worth it. We found out that there are all reasons why she fell out with her last group. Oh, she would borrow money and have people take her out and never pay them back, begging for stuff and spending money on things that she doesn't need. The lies pile up quickly. The last group stepped away quietly from all of the manipulation. We fell for her crap, hook, line, and sinker. Today, she posts on Snapchat that she was doing better and was thinking about going to a 3-day festival. I mean, I will say it does seem like she's addicted to bro, the festival tickets. I mean, they used to be like,
I got one for $130.
they used to be, I was going to say they used to be like
last year.
$300. And some of them are. I've actually found a lot of cheap concert tickets
I saw
lately.
Weezer and Dominic Fike.
But is that a festival?
It's a one day, so it'd probably be like $300 or $400 for.
But that's a festival.
Yeah, it was a
had
festival. Yeah.
multiple artists.
Anderson .Paak was there.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's a festival.
Milky Chance. It was great. It was
Yeah, but now tickets are like getting, I feel like $400 to like $750 is what some of what I've been seeing.
I think I know why she likes to go though.
Yeah, she's yeah. For all our visual or our non-visual viewers,
We're inhaling through noses.
yeah, she's sniffing the good Lord sugar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe who knows? We don't know what substances are involved here,
I
but
don't know. And she may be very skilled at finding this and
Getting it for
somehow
free.
getting it for free. Yeah.
people do be loving to give that stuff away.
Yeah. I mean, that's how my parents met.
Somehow. Dude, sometimes it brings people together. Beautiful love story.
My dad was not in doing the best thing and selling the best things to people. And my mom was like, oh, what's up? You tall glass of water? And he's like, here you go.
I mean, he is a tall glass of water. You cannot deny that, man.
6'8".
Oh, God. I responded to that with, when will you be making another payment and how much will it be? Amy responds, right? Oh, the 3-day festival money's not going to my loan. What's going on? Amy responds with a bunch of excuses on why she can't. Her car needs new tires. She needs food. She's behind on bills. Bob's been on her case about it. Old roommate Bob just back at it again, asking her for rent. She was only thinking about going. She wasn't sure yet. I take a screenshot of everything. I'm keeping track just in case I take her to small claims. Wow. Amy panics and sends Sarah an update message that she is still trying. Sarah calls her out too about how she feels manipulated and her behavior hasn't changed. What she posts online is crazy, and we can't see that she's trying. Sarah has been feeling so bad about being hard on her. Everyone has been worried that Amy might hurt herself because of what she posts and the things that Amy has said in the past. Amy posts again minutes after Sarah finished talking, I'm going to disappear forever. I snapped. I replied to the story. Girl, what the actual F? Amy says it's about her grandma passing away. Golly. She has been so far away from her family. She has missed weddings, births in the family, and now she will never see her grandma again. Okay, we got to stop right here.
Yeah.
Again, I think like as we've gone throughout the story, we've seen that OP has kind of become more and more. She feels a little on her high horse. Like, if anything, why isn't OP? I feel like the advice that OP thinks she gives, which is what she needs to receive, is like, listen, this friend is like driving you around in circles. We don't know OP's financial status, but is it worth to collect all this evidence, take her to small claims court for this $600 you want? I just don't know.
This is what I see.
Yeah, tell me, please.
She's loving this. OP. OP's feeding off this. You know what? I'm gonna sit her down and I'm gonna tell her everything that she needs to do and how she needs to change your life.
I'm gonna fix her.
I'm gonna fix her.
I'm gonna fix her.
Oh no, she's spending money on other things. I'm gonna write down every single thing she spent money on.
I'm gonna make a spreadsheet.
Including the tacos she did. Or did she not even get those? I'm not even sure. But I know she went to a festival, and according to the festival, after tax, $413. Dude, that needs going out. She's loving this, dude.
I think I'm curious, Sophia, like, one, if Amy is your friend, are you gonna kind of just like distance yourself even with the $600
Yeah.
owed? Well, how would you approach that? Like, how would you tell her? Would you send her a message? Like, what would you do?
Wait, she owes me money?
She owes you $600.
Oh, that's a lot.
But it's been a whole rigmarole. It's been a year, and basically at this point, it's looking highly unlikely you'll get your money. What do you want to do?
If I'm not even getting my money, I'd just be like, okay, just not gonna talk to this person anymore.
Yeah.
Let it go and let yourself grow.
No more party favors from me to you. And I have a lot of good party favors.
Oh, God. He sure does. I've seen him. By the way, you want a party favor? You want a party favor? You're listening right now. You're like, oh, I want a party. I want to get it crazy. Yeah, well, guess what? Go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio app and search OK Storytime, because we have 2,000 episodes for your listening pleasure. Okay. Let's get into the last part of this episode here. So I told her posting stuff online is a huge part of the problem. The timing was impeccable. I can only see it in the context that she posted it and the timing of our issues, and I don't really believe her since she broke all the trust I had in her. Vague posts like this are not okay. What are you gonna do? Like install like a app blocker on her phone so she can't like what are we? We're TikTok police now, you know?
Oh my gosh.
She either wants to manipulate us or feel bad or have us feel bad / scared if she stops posting, especially right after she reaches out and we haven't dropped the problems with her behavior. I'm done with this friendship. She needs to pay me back ASAP or I'll take her to small claims court. Am I the a-hole? This is an interesting one. It's not often where we have, you know, the OP potentially being the a-hole, but yeah, what do you think? Is OP I think Amy, first off, is Amy an a-hole? Everyone sucks here. Everyone's the a-hole here.
Amy and OP.
I agree. I think like OP is just going about all these things. OP could have totally been in the right. You know, she lent the money. She's like seems kind of like a mom of the group, you know, like organizing the trips, and
True.
She's you know doing her fair share to contribute to the friend family.
Yeah.
She's just holding it over her head and just lecturing her.
She likes to control.
Yes.
Have you seen those? Not saying like all girl groups are, but like I don't know. I'm just thinking of like it's one girl group in my head where one of them's just like, you're gonna do this and that and this and that, just like very controlling, and it's like, whoa.
Just thinks like, oh, I've got all the answers, and I'm like, dude, you kept lending her money. Like that seems like the type of advice she thinks she's giving.
Yeah,
it's like, hey, stop lending a friend's money. Give it some space. You wouldn't have been out all this money if you had done it. So, anyways, yeah, I agree. I think everyone's the a-hole here, and I think I am the a-hole for ending this story because it's over.
Wow.
But I'm not the a-hole because this episode is not over. Ha!
Woo!
I tricked you.
We got more, guys.
Let's get into it.
I told my father to step up or else my mother might leave him.
I guess he's stepping down.
It's time to step up or step off. For context, I'm a 16-year-old girl and my dad is a 57-year-old man. I love my parents a lot and I am so grateful for all of the things they do to provide for me. However, me and my dad have always had a bit of a strange relationship. He is not very good at communicating, and sometimes it feels like I can't talk to him about anything. By the way, this comes from user I might cause a divorce. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. So this does bother me. But the real issue in our house is that my mom does everything. Every day she makes dinner, does the dishes, the laundry, etc. On top of this, she recently started remotely working full-time again, and she's currently going back to college to get her master's degree. I do everything I can to help out, but I can only do so much. My dad works full-time, and that's it. He never does any chores or helps around the house at all. He does work a labor-heavy job, and I understand it's tiring, but he could at least give our dog a bath or make dinner for himself or something. Both me and my mom have said many times that we want him to help around the house, and he always says he will, but he never does anything. He did the dishes a couple times, but he didn't do it thoroughly enough, and there was still food on them, so my mom had to rewash them. I've honestly gotten really tired of this, as it's been going on for years. And here's where I might be the a-hole. This happened 3 days ago. My mom was in class that night, so she hadn't gotten an opportunity to do the laundry yet, and there was a basket of dirty clothes in my parents' room. My dad offhandedly remarked, "Gee, there sure are a lot of dirty clothes laying around." This made me really annoyed. I told him that he was a grown man, and if he wanted clean clothes, he could do a load of laundry himself. My dad looked surprised at this and told me to calm down. I have a tendency of speaking harshly to people when I'm irritated, and this was unfortunately one of those moments. So I told him that I swear to God, if you don't shape up and start doing some actual work around here, Mom is going to want a divorce. I knew immediately I shouldn't have said it, and he left the room looking really angry. I'm not sure if it's relevant, but he has been married 2 times before my mom. I told my mom about this, and she says that while he should do more work, what I said was really mean, and the divorce comment was completely unnecessary. When my dad got home from work the next day, I tried to apologize, but he completely ignored me and just went outside. Been 3 days and he hasn't said a word to me, even though I've tried to say sorry multiple times. My house is now really tense since my dad is also mad at my mom because he thinks she wants to get a divorce. I feel horrible, but honestly, deep down, I still agree with the comment I said to him. So, am I the a-hole? We have some comments from OP here. Has your mom actually mentioned to you that she wants to leave your dad? If she hasn't, then the comment you made would be stirring the pot for no reason, which would probably make you the a-hole. Your dad does sound hard to live with though, so I can't really blame you. OP says, yes, my mom has mentioned that she wants to leave him, but she's not in a financial position to do it at the moment. And there are some comments. Comment 1, not the a-hole. As the daughter of a man very similar to the way you described your father, he's using weaponized incompetence and the silent treatment as manipulation. You weren't out of the realm of possibilities by saying what you said. I know because after 18 long years, my mom finally divorced my dad. It may have sounded harsh to him, but that's because people with no accountability for their actions will always feel attacked. I hate to say it, but it sounds like your mom would be better off without him. As far as the silent treatment goes, it hurts and it's childish and annoying, but the best thing you can do is look back straight through him. Play the game back. It won't take long before he's pretending like everything's fine again and he's waited on hand and foot. Reply, turn that weapon of incompetence on him. Set up a rotating or alternating schedule for dish duty. The days after he does the dishes, anything that he didn't get clean is for his meals. Mom and daughter can use paper plates and plasticware those days, but they know the days after they're doing the dishes, they will be eating off of actual dishes. That just sounds real petty. I don't think the solution to this is to get pettier.
You had it. The comment had us in the first half where it was like, yeah, why don't you just do like a scheduled thing? You know,
Yeah, and then
scheduled
they were
chores.
like-
That makes sense. And then you got super petty, and I was like, no, that you're not like. The eye for an eye thing doesn't work, or like, just have a conversation.
And OP, you won't, if your parents do divorce, it's not your fault. It's not on you. So comment 2 is not the a-hole. My favorite part of this is you voicing concerns you and your mother share about his lack of help around the home, and his response is to go hide in his shed rather than to actually do anything to fix the problem. Did he ever even do the laundry? I feel like you also have to explain to your mother how this makes you feel, that she is constantly placing your dad's feelings and comfort over both of yours. Is this the kind of relationship she wants for you when you are older? Also, make it clear that it's pretty impossible to drift away from only one parent after moving out. You don't want to get to a point in a few short years where you stop coming around at all because you don't want to watch or hear or deal with it anymore. Comment 3 says, not the a-hole. I think you were a little outside of your bounds, but you should realize that you're 16 and you really shouldn't step into your parents' marital problems. It's frustrating and unfair, but snapping won't solve anything. He's acting like a child by just ignoring you, so maybe just let it go. He's heard you're sorry, and you don't have to repeat it. Your only job as a kid is to learn from your parents, especially from their mistakes, and to carry those lessons into the future. Just tell your mom you're there for her and do your best to live your childhood without worrying about your dad's problems. Be a kid and let the adults deal with it. Don't let this rest on your shoulders. And OP was voted not the a-hole.
Holy heck, that comment, that was the best comment.
That was a good one. That was good. First of all, I want to say thank you to everyone on my first post who commented about their opinions on why I was or was not an a-hole. Everyone was very kind and you all gave great feedback. The verdict on my post, ended up being not the a-hole, though a lot of people said it wasn't my place to speak on behalf of my mom like that. After thinking about it, I agree. My dad was being a knucklehead, but I really shouldn't have put words in my mom's mouth. Now, on to the update. About 2 days after I had posted on here, my parents sat me down and said they wanted to talk. I was prepared to get a lecture about how what I said was out of line, but that's not what happened. Apparently, the reason my dad had gotten so upset at the comment I made was that it hit a little too close to home. As it turns out, my dad has been cheating on my mom for about a year with one of his coworkers, and my mom found out a few months ago. The reason she went back to work was because she needed financial independence to get divorced. They said they hadn't been planning on telling me, but my dad decided I was mature enough to know the truth and that I deserved to know. They said they would probably be separated by the end of the year. The situation was completely out of left field, to be honest, because while my dad might not have been the best at doing the dishes, I never thought he would have an affair. Yeah. Well, he's bad at doing the dishes, but he's great at doing his secretary. My dad has talked to me about how he was so sorry for what he's been doing and that he hoped I didn't view him differently. I've tried to be kind to him and not say any more unnecessary comments, but I did let him know that I was really disappointed in him. I needed to get out of the house, so I've been staying with my friend for the past couple of days and processing everything. And by the way, you can process full episodes of stories just like this with your ears on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, wherever you listen to podcasts. All you got to do is search OK Story Time. Well, it certainly makes more sense now why the mom was like, yeah, I think I might divorce your dad. I think if I found out my partner was cheating on me for a year and it had been a couple months, I might not be able to keep it to myself anymore.
You kind of hit the hammer on the head there. Divorce is going to happen. Best thing you can do is just support your mom the best you can. And unfortunately, if your dad needs you, give him like a pat on the back and be like, you did this.
Yeah.
You caused this. I feel no sympathy.
While what I said to my dad might have been crappy, it did result me in finding out the truth about what was going on, so I'm kind of glad I did. I'm sorry that this update isn't the happiest or anything, but overall, I'm doing okay, and thank you again to everyone who commented on my first post. I appreciate it a lot. We have some more comments from OP. Commenter asks, I won't lie, I'm super curious how old OP's mom is. OP replies, my mom is 51, turning 52 in a few months. Commenter says, I confess, I'm wondering the same thing about OP's dad's affair partner. OP says, I've actually met the woman he was cheating with at some of my dad's work events, before I knew what was going on, of course, but I'm not sure how old she is. If I were to guess, I'd say she's in her late 30s. Commenter says, this just broke my heart for you, honey. Just know that you have people who care about you, because I know this is so confusing and you have so many emotions. Be brave, though, for your mom, because she's probably silently struggling inside for a while with this. To be fair, it hasn't been silent, because OP has said that their mom has told them that. So it was starting to leak out.
Yeah.
Where all this come from?
But
Because there's no way a 16-year-old is telling their dad, hey, mom's going to divorce you, unless mom has told the 16-year-old that that's on the table.
Sometimes we don't know. But in this case, I think the parents they don't want to involve you in their mess until it's figured out, and it sucks. Just don't blame yourself. I hate that thing where like parents get a divorce and kids literally are like pointing the finger like, what did I do wrong? Or like, how can I stop this? Or how the what if thing, like, what if I did this? What if I did that? You did nothing. All you can do is just support, in this case, your mom the best you can.
I just hope for the best for y'all. Much love to you and your family. OP says, thank you very much for your kind words. They are very much appreciated. I can only imagine what my mom has been feeling, so I've been trying to help her out as much as I can. Commenter, I'm so sorry, OP, but hopefully this is a great new life for you and your mom. I'm sorry for whatever step monsters he inflicts on you, which is classic case of can't be single because he wants a maid, I suspect. But did he do the laundry? Thank you so much for the well wishes. And no, he never ended up doing the laundry. And that's why they got divorced.
And that's why that man's got... That man has dirty laundry.
I mean, like, look.
He never aired out his dirty laundry.
Is a man in his late 40s, early 50s can't do his own laundry? Who are you, man?
Or just set a day to do chores.
But that's the end of that story.
My mother-in-law hates me because she thinks I'm taking away her son.
Are you absconding with her child?
Did you stuff him into a box and steal him away?
Yeah, that's not very nice.
It's rude of you. To start off, I've been in a relationship with my boyfriend for almost 2 years. We were exclusively online dating for about a year. Wow. Until I moved to his hometown with him and his family. They welcomed me in with open arms, and I really felt at home with these people. By the way, this comes from unknown0514, and if you want to submit your stories, go to r/OK Storytime subreddit. So everything was going fine until I started a job, which had hurt me in the long run. Eventually, I had to quit, which I guess set off my mother-in-law. At first, it was fine. She was very understanding as why I couldn't do things since it was an injury to my wrists. But eventually, as time went on and I healed, I also struggled getting a job. This was back in October of 2023. I put in tons of applications and never got an interview or heard back. One day, her and my boyfriend were bringing back food for everyone and asked what I wanted to eat. I chose spaghetti since I assumed they were going to the store. However, that was not the case.
Ooh, the spaghetti was a lie.
Oh, they were getting everyone something from fast food. They said okay and got me my spaghetti I had asked for. When they got back, I was informed it was nearly $20 since they went to an expensive place, which I felt bad because I didn't know they were doing that. I didn't choose the place. My boyfriend told me his mom was upset, saying she could have used that for groceries or other things, and started saying I was just out for his money. This is where the trouble began. After I heard about it, I was pretty upset, as you can imagine. The next day, I was cleaning the house and watching my niece and nephews while they were out at the store. When they got back, my brother-in-law said, "Wow, Mom really does not like you," and started talking about the night prior when she wasted money on me. I couldn't do anything but cry. I called my sister-in-law, who I am close with, and asked if I could come hang out at their house. They picked me up immediately, and we hung out for a while. I called my boyfriend and told him that I'm going to stay with his sisters, and started telling him how hurt I was about his mom. His sister mentioned I should just move in with her since she is being so mean to me for no reason when I didn't do anything wrong. That night, I packed our things, and we moved into my sister-in-law's house. After that, his mother and I did not speak for a while. If we've seen each other, we don't talk and look away.
All over spaghetti?
Spaghetti.
All over some noodles?
Literally, yeah. After a while, we started coming around, getting close into the new year. Around the end of December, I had lost my mother. My mother-in-law apologized to me and about losing my mom. We started getting close again. Around the middle of March, my boyfriend and I moved into our now apartment. She was so happy for us. She's been very helpful with rides since I cannot drive at the moment and does it without any intent for gas money up until this last week. After we moved in, I found out I was 5 weeks pregnant. Around the 8th week mark, we decided to tell her and some close friends and family so I could see an OB and she could be there. She was happy as it seemed, but there was always something I thought she was hiding. I'm now currently in my 5th month, currently 18 weeks and 3 days. Between me working and us living upstairs, it has taken a toll on my body. I previously had back problems before I moved here requiring physical therapy. Now that I'm working, I've had to put restrictions on my work. However, my work won't let me do these restrictions, such as sitting after 2 hours for 10 minutes at a time, which if you look it up, you are allowed to do that, and it is highly recommended for women in their second trimester. As of that, my back pain has increased. I had gotten a hold of my family in another state and seen if there was any way we could get some stability and we could stay with them so it would be easier on me and the baby. I don't have any family here in my current state, and I'm struggling getting up out of bed without wincing or picking things up off the floor. We made a plan to move on July 31st of this year, which is about a month from now. Here is the main reason I posted this story. Ever since we told her, she didn't take us seriously up until the other day when we mentioned me giving my notice early and leaving work on the 24th so I can rest and clean before we go. She asked me, "You're actually going?" And I replied, "Yes, I'm giving her my notice today, so she has it early." She got a little quiet and sat there, turned away from us. After that, I got out of the car and went into work. This is where it went downhill. From the time between 9 a.m. and 2 p.m., I had tons of messages from my boyfriend saying how ballistic she is. She was crying when I went into work and yelling at everyone, and this is the boyfriend's mom. She was screaming and throwing things around. In my boyfriend's words, she said to him, "Does she not care about your feelings? Are you doing this all for her? Why does she have to move to her dad since she's pregnant? She couldn't do that before." And the best of all, "I knew she was always going to take you away from me."
And there it is. There we have
There it is.
the little nugget of truth at the center
There
of this
it is.
stinky pearl.
Stinky pearl.
And it's that she's like, well, my baby boy is not going to be my baby boy anymore.
Yeah. I mean, OP needs someone who's going to freaking like help her and take care of her while she has this baby. And it's clearly not the
Yeah.
mom.
Oh, hello? Stop making this about you. This is about the pregnant woman.
The baby, your grandchild. Have you ever thought about your grandchild?
Think about the baby.
Think about it, baby. Ever since he told me these things and how upset she is, I'm starting to feel weird, like I'm in some sort of competition with her. The last phrase she said has stuck with me in my mind. It genuinely makes me think she's in love with her son, and I'm not sure how to deal with this. Now, ever since that day, I have kept my distance since I had 3 days off from work. I return tomorrow, and I will see her since she will take me to work. She will not speak to me or reply to my messages. I've tried multiple times to say good morning or ask how she is. This is where it makes me think she just hates me or something. Yesterday, I messaged her telling her, good morning. I had forgot to mention to you, we have a package delivered at your house and it just got dropped off. I'm sorry for not mentioning it sooner. She did not reply to my message, so I assume she probably got it already. We have mail sent there because our apartment is sketchy and I don't want packages stolen. I bet she's gonna open it or like throw it out or something.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past her.
When my boyfriend got out of work, he told me that she mentioned I texted her and she said to him, yeah, she told me she had a package, but I already knew and grabbed it. So, which seems so weird to me. She was very aggressive about it. Here's my question. We leave in about a month from now and I'm going to have to see her tomorrow anyway. Should I confront her about the situation and tell her I'm sorry for this? I feel guilty for upsetting her at this time, but I mean, we're both over the age of 21 and having a child. I feel like we should be able to live where we want without someone flipping out about it. The thing is, she has 5 kids and never did it to her other kids. She had 3 boys and 2 girls. Never once did she do this to her other kids. What should I do? Any advice would be helpful. Also, as I said, I've never used Reddit before, so I apologize if this isn't in standard text that most people use on Reddit. Thank you in advance if there is any advice on this. Side note, I've had a few comments saying that she's technically not my mother-in-law, and yes, I know that, LOL. However, ever since I came into the family, they've called me daughter-in-law, sister-in-law, aunt. The kiddos love calling me auntie. It works for his family, so it's not a big deal to them. But yes, I am aware we have to be married to be considered in-laws. Just wanted to let everyone know I am aware. Which is really quickly pausing. It is interesting that they see her as a part of the family to the extent where they're calling her like daughter-in-law.
Yes.
But not to the extent where they're, the mother-in-law can be nice to her.
I see something.
What do you see? What you see?
I see a little see you. I think maybe a couple things.
What do you think?
First, I think this is her favorite child. I know we don't like to play favorites with the children.
But she is.
But if there was going to be a favorite, it sounds like this one is that one.
I mean, if you got 5
for her.
children, one of them's gonna shine.
You're naturally going to maybe have a favorite.
Also, I appreciate the helpful comments. I'm going to leave it up to my boyfriend to manage his mother, and I'll just be on the sidelines. I can't wait to leave and be with my family while our little girl grows up. Update! Hey everyone! It's only been a few days since I posted this, and I've taken your advice not to talk to her at all. Since then, she has been nice about everything towards me. Today, my boyfriend was going to hang out with his mom, and I needed to see his family before we left, so I came with. Whenever we were driving, him and I had a conversation to the side about the conversation we were having, just talking about something related. She did not take it well. She said we were being disrespectful and lashed out on us. She started talking crap about him and I. Then she started talking about how disrespectful I am and how my late mother raised me. I couldn't handle it after that. But you know what I can't handle?
I have a feeling I do.
When you guys don't listen to full episodes with stories like this, just go to OK Storytime on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcast
Just search
app.
it up. Just type those letters
Search it up.
in sequence, and there you will find it's the password.
Yeah.
That is your password to find limitless
Limitless
episodes.
potential. But there is a little bit left to the story. Yeah, it just seems like the mother-in-law is a piece of work.
Yeah.
And you just have to kind of not engage with her, not let her, bait you into fighting, because it's clearly that's what she's trying to do. Like she's bringing up your recently deceased mom because she wants to get a rise out of you.
Yeah, there are situations in context that can be unwinnable when you're, trying to beat it with force, a la mopping up the ocean. Can't do it. Hey, you can't mop the tide. Tide's going to come back. Even when it gets low, it gets high again.
Obi continues, when we got to her house, I apologized by saying, I'm sorry for everything that's going on. When you're yelling at me, I don't know what to say except to sit and listen. She said, in this family, you're going to have to learn to speak up. So I got out and started walking away. She started coming after me. My boyfriend got in front of her and said, she's pregnant, Mom. You can't go after her. So now we're staying away from her. I think this is the end of the updates. I know that for a while we'll keep our distance. I'm a little scared for my safety at the moment. Thank you to all who cared to read and give an opinion. And that is the end.
My mother planned to surprise my father with divorce, and I just watched it happen.
Grab some popcorn. It's gonna be a bumpy road.
Pulled up the lawn chair and said, this is going to be great. My parents have been married for almost 30 years. Their marriage is not great. My dad's the kind of person who will come home from work and get angry that there isn't dinner on the table. Growing up, my dad never treated my mother like an equal. She was expected to do all the housework and look after the children and dote on her husband at all times. And I'm starting to see why you just sat back and watched. By the way, this comes from user An Elaborate Divorce. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. So, my parents have been empty nesting for a few years now. I have one younger sister, and we are both out of the house and have our own lives. Neither of us kids have particularly liked our dad. Like, we love him in the way that you love your family, and we are grateful that he provided for us and helped us pay for college, but my dad is an a-hole who treats my mom poorly, and I never respected him for this. I recently got brunch with my mother, and she dropped some pretty heavy news. She's planning on divorcing my father.
Yes.
I was honestly relieved and happy for her that she's finally doing this, but her plan to do so is rather troubling. My parents are Chinese immigrants. My dad's best friend growing up, Daniel, and his family have been saving up for a trip to the United States for years. They'll be visiting my parents over Christmas. My dad, naturally, put the burden of this whole trip on my mother. He told her to organize their whole vacation, planning the meals, reservations, activities, etc. Basically, my mom is expected to be the complete tour guide and handle all the stress and organization of their visit, including picking them up from the airport, while my dad just gets to hang out with his childhood friend and not deal with anything. My mom doesn't even know these people. Apparently, however, this was the last straw for my mom. She is retaliating. She's only pretending to organize this trip and faked a bunch of reservations and stuff to appease my dad.
All right. That's a good plan.
Ooh. My dad thinks everything is organized and Daniel's family is being completely taken care of. Her plan instead is to serve him with divorce papers the day she is supposed to pick up Daniel's family from the airport. My dad will be out of town on business up until the day Daniel arrives, so she will be moved out by then. Daniel's family will be stranded at the airport, and my dad will come home to an empty house and no family. While I support the divorce, I can't help but feel like the plan is a little too cruel. She can be as vindictive towards my father as she wants, but to drag another family into this seems unfair. My dad completely deserves this, but Daniel didn't do anything, and his family doesn't deserve to fly into the US and face this level of commotion. Is it my place to say anything? I voiced to my mother my concerns, and she basically was like, F it and F him. Which, honestly, brother, I agree with.
Yeah. I wonder if to make it like a little bit better, I wonder if maybe the mom can like send this family a message being like, hey, I'm sorry, your husband didn't want to pick you up or something like that. Like her husband.
I think it should just be like, if you do anything to help them out, it's like, it's not like you're going to book them a hotel and now plan their whole trip for them.
Right.
If you're divorcing this guy. So instead it's just like, once you already know you're giving them the papers, I feel like she wants like the shock to hit the husband though. Because if she tells Daniel and his family, then it's probably going to get back to the husband.
Yeah.
And deserves to be divorced.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. At this point, it's like more her husband's fault.
Yeah.
Than anyone's, I would say.
And you shouldn't have been relying on me this whole time to do everything for you.
Yeah. I barely talk to my father, but I don't know who I should reach out to or who I can talk some sense into. My dad has never been violent towards my mom or anything, but I'm also nervous about what would happen if I told my father the truth before my mom had a chance to gather herself and move out of the house without him being present. It just seems like an explosive argument waiting to happen. And you're right, buddy, which is why you shouldn't do that. That'd be the dumbest thing you could ever do.
Yeah.
Okay? Let her handle it. She's earned whatever she wants to do at this point. But we have an update, so we're going to get into that.
Ooh, I'm so excited.
Thank you to everyone who replied. It's been about a month since my post. Reading everyone's responses made a few things to me very clear that I especially had not thought of before. It is highly unlikely that Daniel's family being stranded at a large international airport in the US would be that big of an issue. Exactly. They can figure it out, buddy. They speak good enough English, they have cell phones, they have money, they have my dad's contact information. My mom's decision to wait for him to get his news until he returns from his trip is a strategic one, so she can move out calmly and safely. While my father is not physically abusive, he certainly would not let my mom leave comfortably, and she doesn't need that stress. While some suggested that I step in and take over her duties, others claimed that it was risky for me to take over this role. My father may then just see me as a replacement for his wife. This may set a bad precedent. Yeah, and your father doesn't deserve any help or support or any of that.
Yeah.
Because he's a terrible husband.
And also, it's like, if this is an unfair thing that your dad is doing towards your wife, why would you want to fill that role? Like,
Yeah.
no one should expect you to subject yourself to that.
None of you like your dad. Don't help your dad. Your dad mistreated your mom their entire relationship. Stop it.
Exactly.
Stop it. Yeah. While I initially found her plan to be cruel, some of you rightfully pointed out that surely this act of cruelty pales tremendously compared to the years of mistreatment she has dealt with. So, Reddit. I opted to know nothing and do nothing. And here's what happened. Around the time Daniel's family was to be picked up, I got a phone call from my father. I decided, especially since this was the middle of a workday, to ignore it because I frankly did not want to get wrapped up in the commotion. He called again and then sent me a series of texts demanding to know the whereabouts of my mother. Now, if you recall, my father had been on a business trip this entire week. His first chain of messages and calls was when he had a layover in Denver. He was to be in Denver for 3 hours before he could get on his connection home. This means that at this point, my dad is aware that Daniel's family has not been picked up because Daniel obviously called my father and that my mother was not answering her phone, but he did not know why. He also called my younger sister, who said she genuinely had no idea what was going on, but also lived out of state, so was unable to help. I later find out that my sister was also briefed by my mother about what might happen so that she wouldn't get caught off guard, and she was just playing the fool to help my mother along. I eventually text my dad back saying, I have no idea what's going on, but I'm very busy at work and won't be able to get back to him for a while. My dad, unable to find immediate answers, told Daniel there must have been some miscommunication. He told them to get a cab from the airport to the house and just make themselves at home until my father could get them. He gave Daniel the key code to the house, told him to call back once Daniel and his family were safely at home. Here's where things get a bit theatrical.
I'm so excited.
Ooh, oh boy.
So excited.
Ooh, I love a good trip to the theater. My mother apparently attached the divorce papers to an easel with a nice big divorce label and note and placed the easel right at the entrance hall to the house, so it's the first thing you see once you open the door.
Wow.
What a vibe.
Oh.
As you could guess, who gets the divorce news first? Daniel and his family. Daniel then has to tell my father that my mother is divorcing him. This is precisely what happens. Daniel recounts this in private to me later, which is how I know. But apparently my father went through a range of emotions from disbelief to a fumbling stutter to anger, you name it. This, by the way, is happening while he's at the Denver airport surrounded by his colleagues. He then has to presumably give some sort of explanation to his work friends and deal with an awkward and uncomfortable plane ride back home. Long story short, my dad was incredibly embarrassed and flustered. Let's go. Yes.
Yes.
He had no idea what to do or how to help himself or anyone. Daniel actually ended up coming to the rescue because he is apparently quite the meticulous planner and had many suggestions for activities and sightseeing. Basically, Daniel took charge of his own vacation. Imagine that!
How hard is that? Oh my gosh.
Instead of having your friend's wife plan your whole vacation for you, you did it yourself.
Crazy.
So Daniel planned his own vacation while my dad fumbled around like a lost puppy, tagging along on their trip while being completely discombobulated. I expected my dad to put on a farce for Daniel and his family and pretend things were fine, but he was unable to do that at all. I think he legitimately and honestly believed that my mom would never leave him and was too much at a loss for words to even be angry. Later on, I stepped in to help out Daniel's family and make sure they were doing okay, giving my dad some time to himself. Overall, while they weren't wined and dined in quite the way they probably expected, Daniel seemed like a good and understanding friend. and they managed to have a productive vacation. Daniel said towards the end, when the shock had worn off, my dad and he were able to have a little fun. It was probably a good thing that Daniel was around to help my dad through it. As for my parents, in general, they are only communicating through their lawyers. My mom moved out to her own apartment. She hasn't told my father where she lives, and I'm completely staying out of it. My mom seems like a brand new person to me, and I'm incredibly happy for her for being so brave and finally taking charge of her own life. And by the way, I want you to take charge right now and listen to full episodes with stories like this. Just go to iHeartRadio or Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts from and search OK Storytime. And we now have officially 50 consecutive days. That's 24 times 50 hours
What?
worth of stories for you to listen to.
It's 50 now?
50.
It was just 49 like this morning.
It's 50 days. I just got the news. We've crossed over to 50.
Wow.
So-
big moment.
So go check it out
Oh,
right
check
after
it out.
this episode. And then we do have a
Dang.
little bit of story left here. So let's finish this story off.
Yes.
My dad is pathetic and completely helpless.
Yeah.
All right, well, there it is right there.
Woo. Yeah.
He's been wrapping himself up in his work and eating lots of takeout. I've been careful with my involvement. I will be supportive enough so he doesn't feel completely alone, but I'm adamant to not become some sort of caregiver for him. I refuse to answer questions about my mother's whereabouts, but I do express sympathy for her. It's important for me to make sure my father recognizes that honestly, I'm on my mother's side and that I never agreed with the way that he treated her. That being said, I'm also careful not to antagonize my parents towards each other. I want this breakup to be as clean as possible. And that is the end of that
Wow.
story.
My mother-in-law took advantage of her own family for cosmetic surgery.
I mean, have you seen these new cheekbones, babe?
I, female 21 at the time, met my husband, male 18 at the time, in August of 2023. We moved in together pretty quickly. By November of that same year, we had moved in with my mother-in-law. By the way, this comes from Training Art 54, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to r/OK Storytime subreddit. At first, everything seemed okay, mostly because they were treating me nicely at his house. However, I started noticing small things about my mother-in-law that felt. For example, when I told her I wasn't hungry, she jokingly told me to eat poop, but she sounded very serious to me. Another time I mentioned that I hated the Mexican dish pozole. I'm Mexican but born in Texas, and she took it as a challenge. She made pozole just to try and change my mind. It didn't work, by the way. She also seemed to have a competitive streak. Whenever I complimented my mom and sister's green spaghetti, she would always say that she makes it really good. She constantly tried to prove she was better. Spoiler alert, she wasn't. Her food always lacked flavor. Moving on, she helped my husband apply for jobs, and he got hired right away at a meat market near the house, so he could walk to work every day. She would tell him that when he got his first paycheck, he should buy me things I needed, like feminine products and other essentials. But when he got paid, she suddenly told him to save it. That didn't bother me too much because I had taken some feminine products from my grandma's house. I lived with my grandma before moving in with my in-laws. However, that same night, my mother-in-law called my husband into her room. When he came back, he told me that she had asked him to buy her something. I reminded him that she had just told him to save his money, so that's what he needed to do. He told his mom he would save it, and that was that. I also noticed that she would constantly ask my husband to buy her things at the store. One time, he only had $30 on his card, and he wanted to buy ingredients to make green spaghetti because he had been craving it, but she wanted him to buy a 60-count carton of eggs, which would cost $14 at the time. He explained to her that he really wanted to make the green spaghetti. She got mad and said, "Fine, but you're not going to get from my milk," so we had to buy our own milk. Another important detail, my husband was receiving SSI at the time due to his ADHD and autism. When he was underage, his mom had control of the money, but when he turned 18, he was finally able to receive it himself. That's when he was informed that he owed $6,000. Technically, his mom owed it, but they were going to deduct around $90 from his monthly paychecks. This is important because my husband has been telling his mom that he needed to get his yearly shot after turning 18, but she always brushed it off, saying, "It's not as important right now." However, when SSI wanted him to go to an appointment to continue receiving benefits, she gladly took him. How is a yearly shot to protect his health not important, but securing SSI payments is? She even told me to convince him to put her as the payee of his SSI so she could receive the money. I just replied with, "I'll tell him." Of course, I did tell him, but I also explained why that was a terrible idea. If she got control of the money, he wouldn't have any say in how it was spent. Fast forward to my birthday. My husband was working, so I walked to his job to bring him lunch. He told me that since it was my birthday, he wanted to take me to the restaurant next door. We went, ordered food, and sat down. While we were eating, his mom called him. I couldn't hear what she was saying, but after he hung up, he told me he was mad that he was spending money. He reassured her that he could work extra hours. I thought that was really rude. He just wanted to do something sweet for my birthday. But she got upset over it. Here's the thing, though. My sister-in-law and I share the same birth month. My birthday is on the 23rd and hers is on the 26th. Fast forward to her birthday, my mother-in-law takes us to the exact same restaurant. That's not weird since it's a popular spot, but what annoyed me was that she told my husband to buy food for me, himself, and one of his other sisters, not the birthday girl. I was frustrated because apparently it was okay for him to spend money for her birthday, but she got mad when he spent money on mine. On top of that, my birthday dinner was actually our first official date. We had gotten together so fast that we never had the chance to go on a real date before then. The whole time I noticed she basically wanted to use him for his money. I called her out on how she was acting and pointed out the pattern I had noticed. She responded by calling me crazy and saying I should be sent to a mental hospital. After that argument, we moved in with my grandma. A few weeks later, my husband started talking to his aunt, his mom's stepsister. She mentioned that his mom was a bad person. In her exact words, a narcissistic person, toxic, and crazy lady. And she told us something that shocked me. His mom had sold her sister's car and told everyone it was stolen.
Oh, wow. Hey, look at the mom. It's the common denominator again.
The police were called, and when they found the man driving the car, he admitted that my mother-in-law had sold it to him. And the craziest part, she sold the car because she wanted to get liposuction. My husband's aunt warned us to stay away from her because she only cares about money and uses people to get it. Let me know if you want a part 2 because we ended up moving back in with them a second time. I learned my lesson the first time, but my husband insisted we go back because they promised to help him get a job. And of course, even more drama unfolded. We got an update. We moved back in on October of 2024 and my husband got their job. They told him they would help him get it. While we were there, everything felt normal again. They weren't mean to me at all. I found out though through my sister-in-law, the one I thought was nice, that her mom hates me. Told me that her mom said she doesn't like me for her son. My sister-in-law also told me that my mother-in-law said I supposedly had surgery because I looked skinnier. I was 150 pounds when I got with my husband. After everything I went through with his mom, I wouldn't eat much and also wouldn't go outside. I developed a vitamin D deficiency where a normal level is 30 through 100. Mine was at 9 and I had to take 500 milligrams of vitamin D for a couple of months, 1 pill every week. Because of that, I lost a lot of weight in just a few months. In 1 month, I even lost 17 pounds, and now I weigh 126 pounds. When my sister-in-law told me what my mother-in-law said, I explained that I only ate 2 meals a day, and some days only eat once. I am healthier now, and I don't let people get to me. She also told me that the first time we left, when my husband gave them back the phone they got for him, he paid for it, but it was on their plan. My other sister-in-law, the one just like her mom, took screenshots of mine and my husband's messages and sent them to my mother-in-law. My husband had asked for help in resetting the phone because he didn't know how to do it himself. But to be honest, I don't know if what she told me is true because she says things that are hard to believe. My husband has told me she lies a lot. One time when I was hanging out with her, she showed me a picture of one of my husband's ex-girlfriends and said, "She's really pretty." I didn't say anything to her, but I told my husband that she wouldn't be coming into our room again. Throughout the days, it was the same thing. My mother-in-law would ask my husband to buy her things, and when he asked her, she would say, "Do you have money?" He even gave them $150 for their car insurance, but I'm sure they had money because my mother-in-law makes $2,000 a month and her husband makes $6,000 a month. One time we were all at the mall and she told him, "If you buy me and your sister a perfume from Sephora, I'll buy you a Lego set." My husband got them perfumes, which cost $75. And when he said, "Okay, now you buy me a Lego set," she said, "I said for Christmas." When Christmas came, she didn't get it. Also, my mother-in-law wanted me to apply for food stamps. I told her I called and they said the whole household income affects eligibility. Even if it's just for me and my husband, since they make too much money, we wouldn't qualify. Told me to use my grandma's address instead. I told her that's illegal, and she said she would show me how to do it when she got home. Said she was at work at the time. I explained that I wasn't going to do that, and she said, "Okay." I told my husband's aunt what mother-in-law said about using grandma's address, and she told me my mother-in-law is used to committing fraud to get money. She warned me not to do it. I explained that I would never do it. I still have the screenshots of those messages. Before we even moved back for the second time, my mother-in-law got cheated on for the 5th or 6th time.
Whoa!
Turns out she keeps staying with her husband even though he cheats. My husband's aunt said that my mother-in-law lets men cheat on her as long as they make good money. She even let her ex-husband, my husband's dad, cheat on her until he walked in on her with another man in bed, which is when they separated. I know that's none of my business, but here's the thing. While we were there, they kept telling my husband that he has how do I say this? Basically that he's not a man. They would say it jokingly, but it still made me mad and it bothered my husband. How is a man who cheats on his wife going to tell another man that he's not a man? My mother-in-law would also say that she wears the pants in the relationship, even though it's clear that she doesn't. We noticed they mostly bought food for themselves. Meanwhile, we had to buy food for everyone. They had food they didn't want to share, but we had to share everything we bought. I didn't mind sharing, but it wasn't fair. Fast forward. My husband had a problem with a guy at work and had to quit. My mother-in-law and father-in-law told us that if he didn't get another job, then he would have to leave. They told us to choose. We decided to leave because we already saw that mother-in-law hadn't changed at all. She was just being nice to get my husband's money. I honestly feel like she didn't want us to save up and move out, so she kept asking for money. We decided to leave. I called my mom, and she came to help us take our things to her house. The first trip was fine. When we got back to get the rest of our stuff, while we were driving back, my husband got a text from his sister, the mean one, saying that he had to bring back the puppy he was buying from his mom. They had agreed to a monthly payment of $100 for 3 months. She said if he didn't return the dog, they wouldn't give us the rest of our things. My husband called the cops, and we waited outside the house. Mother-in-law was at work. The whole time, his stepdad was laughing at him and waving a bill in his hand, saying he had to pay for it.
Okay.
My mean sister-in-law was on the phone telling people or her friends that we were causing a scene again. When the cops arrived, they told my husband that since we technically still lived there, he could come back another day, jump the fence, break the windows, and get our stuff. But that would be legal, and they wouldn't arrest him. They said the dog situation wasn't the problem and that they couldn't do anything about it. They told my husband's stepdad that the cops, couldn't make him pay the bill because it had nothing to do with him. Now, I want to mention that when we started living there, it was October 20-something, and my husband paid the bills in advance. Even though they weren't his responsibility yet, he did it just to be nice. But in the end, we still had to give the dog back, even though my husband had already paid $200 for it. Also, my husband told me they took our stuff to their room and then put it back in ours when we were going to take it out of the house. By the way, we won't take you out unless you go to your favorite podcast platform, search up OK Storytime, and boom, we will have stories as crazy as this one, just like this.
Exactly.
And we won't take you out. We're going to read the rest of the story. While we were taking our things, his stepdad told me that my husband had to pay the bills. I told him that since my husband had already paid for the bills, that wasn't his responsibility when we first got there. He shouldn't have to pay now and should call it even. His stepdad said no one told him to. I told him, well, he's not going to pay. He responded, I'll find a way to make him pay. We left and never looked back.
Yes.
My husband's aunt was mad at us for going back in the first time because she had warned us that my mother-in-law is selfish person, toxic, and crazy. And it's the end of that crazy. Yikes, dude. People these days.
But sometimes you really do. You just got to be like, I'm cutting my losses. We're leaving. We're moving. Shaking.
Leaving, moving, shaking.
And it's over.
My boyfriend's mother berated me last time we met. I refused to see her again. I, 26 female, have been dating Danny, 29 male, for almost a year. We moved to another city together a month ago so Danny could pursue an education to advance further in his career field. By the way, this comes from Electronic Sherbert 729. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, I grew up in a big family. 5 siblings, 13 nieces and nephews, lots and lots of cousins. There's bickering, lots of poking fun at each other, shouting over screaming babies to be heard. Sometimes a totally normal conversation between a sibling and I comes off as fighting words to people who have not been around my family. My boyfriend has remarked that a regular conversation between my mother and I was coming off as aggressive. It cannot be a coincidence that multiple people have said so. So I realized that we must be reasonably perceived as aggressive in tone. He is an only child to a single mother, 50 female, twice divorced. His mother helped us move. It was a stressful move and we were running very behind. We moved at the beginning of December in an extremely cold climate. I really love plants and always have. I spend a lot of time taking care of my plant collection. I kept a garden for many years and it was my pride and joy. My prized possession is a giant monstera that I brought to life after finding it wilting and pest-infested some years ago.
Ooh, a nice little monstera. A
large
large
monstera.
monstera.
His mom picked up my monstera and was stepping out the door with it into sub-freezing temperatures. I shouted, "No, no, no!" and quickly ran to find some sort of plastic covering for it so it wouldn't immediately pass away from the cold shock. I cover the plants and explain that they'll pass away from the cold. We continued packing. On the drive up there, I was reflecting back on that interaction and realized it probably came off like I was angry and I snapped at her. I wasn't angry at all. I just really did not want my plan to pass away, and my voice was louder than I had intended it to be. My voice was also deeper than it normally is. She goes, "No, no, no!"
No, wait.
Because I was on the first day of being sick. Yay, sick while moving. I mentioned this to my partner and made a mental note to apologize to his mother later after things had gotten settled. We drove for 12 hours. We got to our new apartment late at night and spent a lot of time hauling boxes up the stairs. I felt like crap, but I was trying hard to keep a good attitude despite being sick. After the last of the boxes was brought in, I started putting some things away and making the beds. That's when his mother confronted me, and that's when you gotta get ahead of it. She was really angry with me. She said I totally overreacted and it was just a goddamn plant. And she thought it was something important. She thought I wanted to fight her? I immediately apologized, explained that I was not angry with her at all, and I was unhappy to hear that she stewed on this for 12 hours.
Well, I mean,
Unfortunately, yeah.
You can't really control her being like, "I thought you wanted to fight me." It's like, well,
Yeah,
that was not right.
Yeah, that's why if you notice something about how you said something and you're thinking about it, the person might be thinking about it too. Just best to get it out of the way. I hadn't realized it was that big of a reaction, and that wasn't my intention. She demanded to know if I would ever throw such a tantrum in front of my own mother. I was sort of surprised by this question because, well, I interact with my mother like that all the time.
She said,
Yeah,
yeah.
I probably would do that. I gave an honest reply that, yes, I do speak to my mother that way, but that's normal for my family. While I realize that's normal for my family, I also realize it comes off as aggressive to other people, and I never want to make other people uncomfortable. I apologized again. She was not having it. She kept repeating how it's just a plant and thought it was something actually important. And she likes my relationship with Danny, and it sure would be a shame if that changed. It honestly felt like she was berating me and low-key threatening me.
Right, yeah, you'd be right about that, I think.
Yeah. I kept apologizing, and it felt like it wasn't good enough for her. I eventually asked if she forgave me, and she said she did. That was the end of the conversation. That night, it kept bothering me. No, not the cycle of stewing.
Just let it go, Elsa.
It felt like she was not interested in my apology. It felt like she wanted a pound of flesh with it. My partner asked if I was okay, and I answered honestly. No, I felt disrespected and humiliated. I tried to get some sleep, but couldn't. My cat was very vocal about how upset she was over the move, and I finally just locked myself in the bathroom with my cat and slept on the floor with her. She stopped meowing around 4 a.m. I came to the decision that I do not want to address this conversation with his mother. I just wanted to leave it alone, and I can deal with my own feelings privately. There's no need to have my own say, no matter how much I dislike the way she handled it.
Yeah, I think that's honestly probably the best. Like, all you can really do at this point is just let go of that and move forward, knowing that you didn't really do anything wrong. You made peace with it. You tried to.
I woke up the next morning feeling sore, sick, and extremely tired. Oh, NOP's also like sick while all this is happening. I went out into the kitchen to start unpacking boxes. His mother was in the kitchen. I said, "Good morning." She said, "Danny says you aren't over last night."
Come on, Danny.
Danny. And I understand he's probably like, "Mom, you gotta like make nice."
Yeah, he probably came from a good place. But when she literally goes like, "I don't even want to, I just want to move on."
Yeah.
Then you're like, "I'll do the opposite of that."
Let me make sure that she never moves on. I carefully said that I don't think we should talk about it right now, that I'm very tired and feeling unwell, and I didn't want to say something I don't mean. She asked, "What's that supposed to mean?" I reiterated that I was feeling unwell and didn't want to talk about it. She almost let it go. "Well, Danny's really upset, so I think we should talk about it." My first mistake was letting that slide. My second mistake was relenting to it. Danny then walks in. I start by saying that it wasn't just a plant. It was very important to me, and I felt like she wasn't respecting my belongings. Ooh.
And again,
no,
it's
no,
like,
no, no. But
this
that wasn't the point of that wasn't the original conversation.
well, this just isn't gonna
Now
work.
it's a new argument.
It's not gonna work at all, regardless.
She blew the F up. She starts berating me again, caricaturing my reaction to the plant, and repeating herself over and over and over again. I start crying. She keeps talking over me. Danny says absolutely nothing, won't look at me, and keeps staring at the floor. Important note, I do not cry in front of other people. I have cried in front of Danny only one other time when my brand new car broke down and I didn't have the money to fix it. He knows I don't cry in front of other people. I excuse myself and I say, I need a break. She scoffs and looks at Danny like I'm being ridiculous. I leave the apartment and spend some time sobbing on the sidewalk. I call my mom and she calms me down. My mom tells me that I should not talk to Danny's mother again. There's nothing I can say that would make the situation better, and I should probably get some sleep to ward off the sickness and exhaustion. I find Danny and let him know I'm going to get some rest. I slept around the clock, waking up crying intermittently and taking more cold medicine. I don't hear a word from Danny. His mother leaves the next day. We spent the entire next week in a deep depression and a state of high anxiety. The apartment feels not good. I feel like I can no longer trust Danny to protect me or have my back. This is the first time I moved away from home. I don't have a car. I don't have a job. My support system is 12 hours away. I'm extremely vulnerable and effing terrified. Things have gotten a little better since then between Danny and I. I'm trying very hard to let my guard down and let Danny in emotionally. I stay at home every day and unpack, clean the apartment, apply for jobs, visit the gym, and make all of Danny's meals. I don't know what else I would do anyways. We live several miles away from town. I'm trying not to let the depression take over. We're going back home to visit my parents and his mother for Christmas. I am extremely nervous as to how this will go. If his mother berates me again and he says nothing, I don't think I can continue being in this relationship. And have you communicated that with him?
Mm-hmm.
Because
That's
we
the
haven't
key.
heard you having a conversation where you say, Danny, why did you say nothing?
Yeah, because if you don't talk, then Danny probably isn't going to, as someone who grew up with that woman who's probably used to the way that she is, he might not have the awareness that you are being affected this deeply by it,
Yeah.
even though you were crying in front of him, even though that you are being impacted that way. If you don't say it, it's almost entirely impossible for him to know it.
What if I have to break the year-long lease I just signed? How would I even get back home? Do I just pack up a few boxes and my cat, leaving everything else I own behind? Do I move back in with my parents? Do I just let her chew me out again and take it? F. Am I totally out of line here? I want nothing to do with her. I have this horrible sinking feeling that spending 3 days with her is going to be the end of our relationship and I will have nowhere to go. We leave tomorrow morning and I feel sick just thinking about it. Ooh, how should I handle this? Conversation. I think there are some comments and an update, but you gotta go to Danny. And before you go on this trip, absolutely,
100%.
you have to have that conversation about how you felt in that moment. About, wanting to be a partner or partners now that you guys are living together. I mean, yeah, it's just not going to work long term if you don't have those conversations. Comment 1. If I'm understanding correctly, Danny told his mom you were still upset, but he didn't tell her what disrespectful knucklehead she was by dismissing your feelings about the plant and berating you about something you had already apologized for. And then he stood there quietly while she continued to mock you for caring about something until you cried. And you did everything you could to make him comfortable while he still did nothing to make you feel validated, secure, part of a partnership. One of the biggest reasons why moving in with someone quickly is a bad idea is that so many relationships are perfectly magical when you haven't run into any real conflict yet. The stress of moving, the way his mother treated you, those difficult situations are where you see who your boyfriend really is. Anyone can be caring and supportive when it's only words and gestures that don't require sacrifice. When people have to make choices like whether to stand up to mommy or let her emotionally one to ya, those choices reveal their real priorities and ideals. Your mom is right. You should not put yourself in a position where you're going to be talked down to and insulted because you misspoke. and raised your voice in a moment of crisis, especially when you already recognized your mistake and apologized. I'd honestly just not go back and stay with your mom. She sounds great. Opie says, I think I just made my mind up on the matter. I'm not going. I'm way too vulnerable for that right now. I wouldn't even have a way out of it if things went sour. My parents and his mom don't live in the same town. They live in the same U.S. state, and it is not one of the small ones. Reply, we don't know what Danny said. Opie was not there when Danny talked with his mom. However, we know that Danny said something after first encounter, and that made mom escalate. Him telling mom something again would probably escalate the situation further. I really do not see how Danny could possibly achieve anything good by going to mom and complaining to her again. She very clearly escalated after that. Info, why would you move to a place out of town with no car, no job, no friends or family, and with a man you are not married to or engaged and dating for less than a year?
Dang, they really just asked, like, why would you live life?
Why did you do that?
Why are you living life?
Why are you breathing air?
Why are you alive?
Why do you know somehow you're going to get there? I ask this because when you are completely stuck with no money or protection, you are vulnerable to people treating you poorly. Plus, they realize there is nothing you can do about it. Highly suggest that you get one of your many relatives to get out there with a moving truck and help you move back home. You need to concentrate on your career. He can go to school on his own. Let his mother take care of him. And please don't tell me you co-signed a lease with a man and no job. If so, beg the landlord to let you get out of it. If you stay, you will just be the doormat, mistreated. Dang, maid. Wow. Good luck to you. Opie says, I moved out of town with no car, job, or support system with a man I've been dating for less than a year because everyone, my support system, said I'd be crazy not to. I guess I thought you're supposed to be vulnerable with your intimate partner. He's never given me any reason not to be vulnerable. He's done construction work for my parents free of charge, $30K worth of work all summer. He handed me the keys to his vehicle with no hesitation when my vehicle went toes up. He almost refused to let me pay rent when I first moved in with him in September. He'll surprise me with arranged visits with my closest friends. He suggests we see my little brother's band performances. He's never pushed or prodded me to do something I'm uncomfortable with. He's been quick to apologize. He's been quick to say thank you. He is many things, and he is now arguably without a spine when it comes to his mother. He is absolutely not abusive. I've been with harmful men, and Danny is not cut from that cloth. Was it stupid to move out here with no job, vehicle, or support? Oh, yeah, big time. I'll cop to that. I'm not a bang maid. And despite this huge issue with his mother, no part of me believes he would treat me as such.
You know what? Clearly you're in love. You have a great guy. Everything's making sense. And there's just one element here, which is his mom and his inability to stand up to her, it seems, in an ineffective way.
I think that I don't think this is necessarily the end of the relationship.
Not at all.
I think they just need to have a conversation where she says, hey, I felt really abandoned in that moment. I felt alone, and I don't want to feel alone. I want our relationship to continue in a healthy way. And I want to feel like you have my back. Let's call the place Danny's mother lives in Ennsville. My parents live in Snakewater. The skinny of things. After initially holding firm to his decision that we'll be going to visit his mother in Ennsville, Danny reconsidered his decision. I got the sense that Danny was inspecting the state of our relationship the same way a man would inspect a table loaded with heavy, fragile material. At some point during the inspection, Danny decided to look underneath the thing and discover the table was bowing. Worse, cracking. Underneath the weight, he had seriously underestimated. Danny told me he wanted to take me to Snakewater. He hadn't realized just how uncomfortable I was with going to Ennsville and hadn't realized that breaking up was a very real possibility. Danny took me to Snakewater, and I spent some time with my family and my best friends, which was wonderful and healing. Danny went to Ennsville by himself with plans to join me and my family for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. He swore he wouldn't resent me for it, and I believe him for the most part. And that's just on you and being vulnerable and stuff. It's scary to take people at their word. You want to make assumptions, but you can only go off the information that they give you.
Yep.
Now for the other fun things. My father is very unhappy with Danny. My father is a hardened Vietnam veteran who has committed outrageous acts of violence in his years. but he was tearing up when he asked Danny to take care of me after we move. He was very upset to receive a phone call from me and terrified in tears. The second day of being gone, my dad wanted to have a talk with Danny. I asked him not to stay quiet for now. He gave me his word that he would not say anything. I wanted to give Danny the courtesy he did not give me. I don't believe in scorekeeping or tit-for-tat dynamics in a relationship. I talked to Danny privately about my father's unhappiness and allowed Danny the opportunity to initiate the conversation himself, should he choose to do so. Danny talked to my father eventually. I do not know what was said between the two of them, and I won't ask. More fun things. Danny's mother sent him a text message towards the end of Christmas dinner, informing Danny that his stepfather of 10 years is passing away of cancer and has days to live.
Oh my. Wow. That is really hard news to compute in that amount of time.
This news was devastating. I quickly excused us from the table and found a room for Danny to grieve in privately. He called his mother, and I could hear her sobbing over the phone. I held him while he grieved with her. Wow, there's a lot of moving parts to this situation now. We finish up Christmas and drive the 12 hours back to our new home. Danny is acting, well, strange. I'm not surprised by any of his behavior. People do odd things when they are grieving, but some of it is a little unsettling. I feel like I am constantly getting on his nerves, or if I'm not getting on his nerves, I'm being used as a quick dopamine fix. He has 3 moods lately: angry, sad, aroused. He hadn't disregarded my consent or hurt me or anything like that. I'm just not sure any of this is healthy. He cries in the night and disassociates during the day. His stepfather passed away earlier this week. We decided to get him a plane ticket back to Ennsville so he can assist his mother with the final affairs. The plane ticket wasn't cheap and we couldn't really afford it, but it felt like the right thing to do. He's still in Ennsville right now and will be flying back tomorrow. Danny acknowledges that me skipping the Christmas trip Ennsville was the right decision. He still does not recognize how bad it was to let his mother mistreat me. It feels like he's doing mental gymnastics to not face the fact that his mother was in the wrong. I asked Danny how we will be handling parent conflict moving forward, and he could not give me an answer. Until he can give me an answer, I won't entertain the idea of coming within a country mile of his mother. I didn't want to admit it to myself, but I'm going to. His mother is an awful woman, and this is a Freudian circus I want no part of. I don't understand how Danny turned out to be such a social, outgoing, and ambitious young man being raised by a woman like that. I'm not even sure where to start untangling this mess. I had friends and family take me aside during Christmas and quietly tell me that they will come and get me out if I need. But you should never get out of full episodes of stories just like this.
That's right. Never.
You should get in them. And you can do that by going to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and searching up OK Storytime. My father was initially outraged by Danny's lack of action and wanted to move me back home immediately. My mother and brothers think I should give it more time, that Danny is worth the time and effort it will take to sort this out. I feel guilty for allowing my family to criticize Danny when Danny is vulnerable and grieving. I feel guilty for feeling unsettled by the constant nitpicking, zoning out, and being pawed at. I picked Danny up from the airport in the morning and will be immediately taking him to his college campus to begin orientation. There's way too much happening all at once. And that is the end of the story. The thing is, whenever you tell your friends or family about a mistake or something that's going on in your relationship, they will have thoughts and feelings about it.
That was why it's important to give them don't just talk about your partner when like something is wrong. Talk about them when things are good.
Yeah.
So that the people around you don't just
or
think
like
your partner's bad.
The
all
worst.
the time.
Yeah.
My stepdaughter's mother has horrible hygiene. It's affected my health.
Go wash your stinky self.
I, 29 female, am 4 months pregnant with my and my husband's first baby. We are very happy for our baby and excited to be parents, but my pregnancy proved to be more difficult than I expected. The main problem is I have extreme nausea. Some smells that I used to like before now make me sick. I can smell everything around me, and the things that make me very, very sick are food and body odor.
Oh no.
Oh. By the way, this comes from user CriticalNet2821, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, my husband has a daughter from his previous relationship, Violet, 13 female, and as per the custody agreement, she comes to stay with us every week from Friday after school to Sunday afternoon/evening. I have nothing against Violet, and we used to have a decent relationship, but she stinks, and it's making it impossible to live in my own home.
Oh no.
Yes, OP is talking in the literal sense.
Yeah.
Her mother is against chemical deodorants, so she buys her some natural things
No.
that do not cover the sweat smell.
Oh,
Those
no.
don't work.
They don't.
They don't.
I don't believe they work.
It's not only that she smells, it's also her clothes that have a very nasty smell, like sweat and musty and old. It's a very nasty combination, and it's making me barf every time I am near her. We tried finding solutions, but with no results. Violet refuses to wear the clothes that are in our house and that are clean and fresh. Instead, she comes from her mother's place with a set of clothes and pajamas, wears them while she is here, and takes them back to her mother's each Sunday. That is a strange little fixation there. I wonder why that's happening.
Like she washes her clothes at her mom's house?
Well, it's like, yeah, she refuses to wear any clothes that didn't come from her mom's house.
Interesting.
I'm just hoping it's not like I'm wearing these on purpose to like upset OP's tum-tum.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not.
She always refuses, saying that her clothes are clean. Yeah, so clean that she stinks. Her mother refuses to cooperate on this as well. She refuses to convince Violet to allow us to wash her clothes because we don't use natural products and claims her daughter does not smell. It became an entire nightmare for me to live in my own house while she's here. I really did try different approaches, but they always failed. During lunch or dinner, I tried staying as far away from her as possible, but I can still smell her. I can smell you. Which results in me not being able to eat and very often puking my guts out.
Oh gosh.
When she is here, I fill the house with a lot of scented candles and wear a lot of perfume on myself in order to have another predominant smell. Sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't, but it's not healthy for me to live in a house filled with smoke and perfume. As I said, after trying multiple solutions and discussing with the mother, who refused to cooperate with us, my husband got tired of seeing me sick and told Violet and her mother that she cannot come to our house anymore until I give birth. He explained to them that I need to be able to relax and enjoy being in my own home, which I can't do anymore, due to their refusal to be understanding of our situation. So far, this all sounds pretty reasonable to me.
Absolutely. She's pregnant.
She's pregnant.
You gotta do what you can for these pregnant people, man. You really do. They're going through a lot just to have another human exist in the world.
She's got hypersensitivity right now.
Yeah.
And she's like, maybe you wouldn't be too stanky if I wasn't hypersensitive right now.
Right.
Violet's mother sent me a nasty text. I wonder if it's as nasty as her smell, accusing me of being the reason why my husband is abandoning his daughter. No one is abandoning anybody. We will start allowing her to come over after I give birth. She said, as a woman, I should make an effort and make my husband be closer to his kid. In response, I sent her the following message, quote, well, as a woman, you should be able to understand that pregnancy sickness is not something I can control. Also, as a woman, you should be focused on your daughter's hygiene and not let her smell like a dumpster.
Dang.
Boom.
Oh, she's right. She's right. Because, that first text saying, like, as a woman, you should whatever about your man. It's like, that has nothing to do with being a woman.
Yeah.
The second one, the hygiene one, also not really anything to do with the
It's
woman.
just being a person.
But if you're, as a woman, yeah, you should know, as a woman with a kid, too, you should know, like, what pregnancy is like. I guess, unless you go a different route. But if we're assuming here,
Yeah.
then, yeah, like, her comeback made a lot more sense than the original insult.
True. She replied that I have no idea how hard it is to be in her situation and that I am a nasty for criticizing a fellow mother. You're literally criticizing a fellow soon-to-be mother.
Yeah, you started it.
What do you mean?
You started it.
You're saying that she's abandoning your child. That's
Come on,
not
man.
criticism?
Yeah, exactly.
Crazy. Well, we have an update here. Let's go ahead and jump in. I have received a lot of feedback from you. Thank you very much for your kind words. For those who came to my post only to share negative energy and spread your childhood trauma on me, the only thing I can say is that I feel sorry for you and I hope you never experience the symptoms that some of us face during pregnancy. I have seen so many idiotic replies and so many people thinking that a woman can push a button and stop getting sick because as an adult, you need to deal with that. You people are insane. This is not how it works. Some of you demanded me to leave my own house to go stay at a hotel. I'm obviously not going to do this. I also went to my doctor for a checkup and discussed alternative solutions some of you gave me. Many people suggested I should use Vicks on my upper lip, and my doctor told me he does not recommend that for frequent use. Once in a while is okay, like if you need to go somewhere and you need to block certain smells, but on a weekly basis, 3 days a week, he said very firmly no. He also gave me a lot of crap for all the perfume and candles that I use and instructed us to use as few things as possible. What he recommended was to keep away from things that make me sick, have things around us clean, and keep the windows open as much as possible for fresh air to get into the house. Now, the update. My husband is very firm on the decision to not have Violet around our house until I give birth and until we see her respecting our home and our rules. As mentioned in multiple replies, he will still see his daughter as per the custody agreement, but they will meet outside our home. He's like, well, Violet, welcome to the tent in the backyard.
Yeah, we're going camping this week.
3 days.
And next week.
Isn't that
And
so fun?
for the next 5 months, it's camp out time.
Oh.
Or I have a stick of deodorant that you could put on.
Could I offer you a nice clean towel for our beautiful shower?
Matrix, red pill, blue pill, but it's a stick of deodorant and a tent.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
It's a stick of deodorant and a can of Sterno. They're just like, ooh, what do you want? Opposed to some of your beliefs that we intend to abandon her or permanently ban her from our house because I want my baby to replace her. We don't. And you are very deranged. I don't know how you operate and think, but my baby will never be a replacement for anyone. He will be his own person. He's already extremely loved and will continue to be. He will always have security and everything he needs. And yes, I can provide everything for him on my own. Of course, I want him to have his father in his life, but it's not like I will ever depend on a man or can't provide for my kids. So I need to push away his step siblings. Yesterday, my husband picked up Violet from school and took her to my mother-in-law's house. The plan was for Violet to spend the weekend at mother-in-law's, my husband to see her during the day, and come back to sleep at our house. Husband and mother-in-law intended to use the occasion of Violet staying at her place to discipline her and get her used to a clear routine. She gets home, she takes a shower, and changes her clothes. Unfortunately, everything has turned into a circus. When husband and Violet got to my mother-in-law's house, she was requested to go take a shower, hand her clothes over to be washed, and wear something clean. As expected, she refused, and they started arguing. Violet kept saying that her clothes are clean, and that I'm not around, so there's no need for her father and grandmother to bother her. Based on what my husband told me, he tried to keep his cool and enforce the rules, but my mother-in-law just lost it.
Oh, man.
Mother-in-law was very furious and started shouting at Violet, calling her a lot of names like rude and dirty. She told her that she stinks. She told her that she should be ashamed of herself
Oh, my
to go out in
gosh.
public because she's embarrassing everybody around her, and she told her that she is ruining our family.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay, well, maybe let's not do that.
Ruining the family? That's crazy.
The response to the 13-year-old being stinky is not to give her emotional trauma.
Yeah, come on,
For
man.
God's sakes,
She's going through
mother-in-law.
puberty. These are new stinks that she's having to deal with.
Yeah, come on.
Gotta learn new hygiene stuff. That's
Yeah.
normal at that
Ah.
age.
Yeah, being stinky is a part of growing up. And then you learn how to not be stinky.
Exactly.
It's the American
It's a part of
way.
The
life.
American way.
To be stinky.
To be stinky. You just gotta deal with it.
Instead of husband being able to relax in his own house with his family after a long week of work, he is forced to spend time outside his home just because she is a selfish brat. Violet started crying and shouting at my mother-in-law, which makes sense. After everyone calmed down a little, my husband asked Violet, what is it with her? He told her that she indeed smells bad and everyone around can feel it. He told her if she thinks we are all biased and against her, then he will call CPS, a counselor will document everything, and he will take her mother to court for neglect. What?
This
Guys,
is so extreme.
this is like using we have an ant problem. All right, what are we going to do? Well, we're going to shove a hand grenade down into the anthill.
Yes!
And,
Yes!
and that'll fix it.
Yes!
Sophia's behind that idea. Just burn down the house.
End
That's
them
what's gonna
all!
happen.
Yeah.
That's so extreme. We don't need to be calling CPS for hormonal stinks, man.
He explained to Violet that I am not against her. No one is against her, but by smelling like this, she is causing me to get sick a lot, and showed her some of my medical reports where it's clearly written that all the symptoms I'm having with this pregnancy. Violet started crying again and claimed that she thought I was exaggerating and doing it on purpose because her mother told her pregnancy sickness is just an excuse and not something real. Which,
No!
look, it's like, that's the classic case of like confirmation bias. She probably was pregnant and did not have any issues with smell. So then she goes, well, that's not a real thing. That's just fake.
Yeah, it's like, well, yeah, because we all know that everyone's pregnancy experience is exactly the same.
Right. Experience is relative.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, mother-in-law once again got furious and accused Violet of being a liar. Mother-in-law told her that all teenagers spend so much time online and have access to so much information that Violet could have just Googled pregnancy symptoms and educated herself. She then said she refuses to enable Violet and will come stay with me.
Who?
What?
The mom?
The mom?
So now we're leaving Violet alone at the house.
The mom's like, I can't take it anymore either.
Okay. No, I think it's that the mother-in-law from OP's perspective, so this is a grandmother, and I'm pretty sure that Violet is staying at her mom's house.
Yes.
So it would be more like the ex-partner of OP's now husband is where Violet lives, and I think the mother-in-law maybe lives there as well,
Okay, that's what it sounds like.
which would be Violet's
But-
grandma.
So now the mother-in-law is
but
saying
now
she'll go live
grandma's
with
like,
OP.
I'm gonna move in with OP
Yeah.
and my son.
It's like, I can't. Now that we're bringing it up, man, I don't like it either.
Yeah, now that it's all out there, you do stink, Violet.
Yeah.
So here's where we all are now. Mother-in-law got a bag and came to stay with me yesterday. She will be staying until tomorrow when Violet is taken back to her mom's. We took advantage of the situation and we also called my sister-in-law over. So as I'm writing this, we are having a girls' weekend at my place and I really enjoy it. And by the way, you could really enjoy listening to full episodes with stories like this on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, wherever you listen to podcasts. Just search OK Storytime. We're up to 53 consecutive days worth of stories.
Just keeps going up, man.
So if you can manage to listen to it at double speed, that's less than a month that it would take for you to listen to every single story we've ever had if you just keep it on and never stop listening.
Never stop.
So get to work. There's a little bit more story left.
Okay.
Husband wanted to take Violet to her mom's and come home, but I told him not to. He should use this weekend alone with Violet to fix things and overall parent her and make her understand our rules and our conditions. My husband will update us tomorrow on how things went and what the next steps will be. I have no idea what's going to happen, but I will not spend too much energy on it. I need to focus on my baby and my health, and Violet's parents need to deal with their child. And that is the end of that story.
Wow. Well, we got a good solution there.
I kind of like the separation of duty there. It's like,
Yeah.
look, I get it, but that's not my kid. It's yours. And I can't be her mom or her,
Yeah.
so let those who are directly involved figure it out.
Exactly.
My father chose his mother-in-law over me. I don't want him in my life anymore.
I mean, would she choose her for kickball or like what? Let's find out.
Hi, everyone. I, 17 female, am only really posting this since my dad's family and even my mom are telling me that I'm in the wrong. By the way, this comes from I'm just a pick 1-3. And if you were to submit your own stories, go to r/OK Storytime subreddit. So my parents got divorced when I was 12, and they had a 50-50 custody. So I would stay with my dad for a week and then my mom. When I was 14, my dad got married to my stepmom. I refer to her as his wife, and I would only see them on the weekends until they moved, and I only saw them whenever they visited. My mom got full custody. Anyways, last month they moved back to our city and got a 2-bedroom house. My dad promised me the room before he moved back and told me he would do 50-50 again if me and my mom were okay with it, and we were. I was so excited, and I got to pick out my furniture and bought stuff to decorate it. Anyways, they moved into the house and invited me. They gave me a tour and showed me my room, in air quotes. I asked when I could start putting things in it, and that's when they told me that they were actually going to give the room to his wife's mom. And since I was going away to college soon, it wasn't like I was going to do much with the room. They also told me that instead of staying the full week, that I can go on the weekends and sleep on their couch if I wanted to. I said no to that and texted my mom to pick me up. It's been a month and I ghosted my dad fully. He even tried to come to talk to me, but I was at school. He's been contacting my mom, to which he hates doing. So I just decided that I didn't want to be in his life anymore or have him in mind, even though I barely did. I talked to my mom, and for someone who hates my dad, she told me that I should just talk to him and spend time with him since I barely got to for 2 years. I just decided to cut him off. It sounds impulsive, I know, but I sent him a long message detailing how emotionally neglected and unwanted he wanted me to feel and to never contact me again. I blocked him and blocked his side of the family. This is a 17-year-old girl also.
Yeah, I was about to say 17.
Yeah. In the morning, my mom woke up at 5 a.m. and asked what I did. Almost my dad's entire side of the family have been blowing up her phone asking what she said/did that made me want me to cut off my dad. During school, I even got a few messages from my cousins on Insta that I forgot to block, insulting me. My mom showed me some of the messages, and some are insulting both of us. My dad sent a message apologizing to me and said I broke his heart. His wife is sending disgusting messages towards my mom. I feel awful because I didn't expect them to attack not only me, but my mom, harshly at that. I feel like I messed up, and I want to know if what I did was the right thing. We have a small update real quick. Probably talk to your school counselor. Sounds like a good place to start for blocking everybody.
God, it's just such an overwhelming place to be at that age. Like, if your school has resources, it's hard to be lean on your friends because they're also 17.
Yeah.
It's really hard to feel like you can get guidance at that age. At least from what I remember, it's
Yeah.
it was really hard for me to look at my parents or other adults at that age as real mentors. It was more like people who were also maybe in their 20s, but then also not always the best model, for a mentor. I would just try to talk to your parents, talk to your dad, right?
Well, that's what she doesn't want to do.
I know, but sometimes the things we don't want to do are the very things keeping us from what we want.
So you're saying do what your mom says to do? Talk to your dad?
In this context, it's you can't just have your dad blocked forever. You need to just have kind of what you've expressed to him in the process of blocking him, but express it in the context of a conversation instead of just being hey, here's the last thing I ever say to you. It needs to be no, I need just discuss.
Yeah, and agreed, Lydia. The stepmom and adults are handling this wrong. They don't need to be insulting a 17-year-old girl. Gosh, people have emotions at that age. Small update. My mom talked to my dad and set up a time to talk tomorrow after school. My mom is making me talk to him and reconcile, but I really don't want to. I'm trying to convince her not to force me to, but she's threatening to take away my phone/laptop that I need for school and other things. I'll update you guys tomorrow. President Doug 42 says, unblock him temporarily to let him know that his family and wife pestering you and your mom is exactly why you want no contact with any of them. He continues to take no accountability for his actions and blame you and your mom instead. Tell him your mom is against your decision, but his family's attack has reassured you that you made the right choice. I would even send screenshots of messages. Ask him to call off his family and nasty wife. That for now you stand by your decision and that maybe in the future you will change your mind. But if it continues, it will only drive you further from him. At that point, you can either leave him unblocked to get responses or reblock. Spark Eye Girl says, this is not okay. You're not the a-hole. Your dad took away your room to give to his wife's mother and then said you can sleep on the couch. WTF? How often does her mom visit? He barely saw you or made any effort. Why keep emotionally damaging yourself? I'd tell his family, well, he chose his wife over me years ago. I guess I shouldn't be surprised he chose her mother over me too. I decided I don't deserve to be treated as an old sweater, only useful when he needs me. And OP says, yeah, exactly. And also from my knowledge, not too much. Her mom is wild and goes to Vegas a lot, basically lives there, and she's rarely home in her own house now. So it's like she won't be in the room much either unless she's back in town, to which a lot as to why she probably needs to pay bills. Thank you so much. And we got an update 2 days later.
I think I'm all for expressing all the things you're feeling about how your dad's treated you. I don't think that you need to necessarily look at it as and the end result needs to be reconciliation. Really just approach it as I'm going to get all this off my chest.
Tell you how I feel. And you got to handle this as an adult.
Yep.
Be on my side.
And then you can't control how he responds, but you can let his response inform how you're going to
future respond,
interact with him going forward.
Agreed. Update 2. Hi guys. Right now I'm at a friend's house and going to stay the night. If you saw the small update I did on my last post, blah, 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 blah. I made sure to try and mentally prepare what I wanted to say/do. I really didn't want to talk to him, but since I was forced, I decided to take some advice from my last post and basically just talk about the few times I felt neglected and why I wanted to cut him off, including the intimidation from his family. When I got there, I thought it was just going to be him, me and my mom, but I was wrong. My mom came inside with me, but my dad told me to sit in the dining room and wait. They stayed talking at the door, and I went to the dining room. My dad's wife, who I'll just call Becca since it's close to her name, and her mom were sitting there. They told me to sit down while we wait for my dad. These women looked so angry at me and I felt uncomfortable. I sat and was on my phone and I could just feel them staring at me. I just wanted to get up and leave, but my dad eventually came and sat down and he told me we needed to talk, but I asked him where my mom was and he said that she left, and I asked why and he ignored me. Then he started talking about how sorry he was for what I felt about Becca's mom, wanted the room, and we already broke her lease from her apartment and was thinking about quitting her job. Guys, this lady is 53 and acts like she's my age. She's gotten fired from all her jobs or quit because they were hard. For everyone thinking of a small, frail old lady, you're wrong. Picture someone who loves Vegas, drinking, and partying. There you go. 53? That's so young. Putting your
Way
job
too
at
young to be like,
53?
I'll never work again for the rest of my life, I guess.
I'm going to just go work at the casino.
Why are these people even involved?
I don't know.
You know, I feel like some of this is like,
Also, as a dad, why would you want your mother-in-law living with you? I mean, my future mother-in-law would be great, but I'm just saying, why would you put yourself up for that?
it's just a really tough situation to be in at that age. And it's like, the response is like, well, you get in there and the stepmom and her daughter are like staring daggers through you. The reaction to that shouldn't be like to be passive and like on your phone. The reaction should be like, all right, let's get in front of it. Be like, hey, so I noticed you guys have a problem with me, clearly, because I wasn't born yesterday.
Not everyone's built like you, my dog.
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's hard to tell someone who's 17. Like, again, I wouldn't do that at 17. But it's like that situation demands like getting in front of it, like taking the reins. But you can't. It's so hard to do that at 17, you know?
Yeah. I was mad. They all took turns talking and basically said words that mean, we're sorry if you're upset, but you're dramatic, and you being dramatic affects us, so we'll give you a bunch of excuses and make you seem like the bad guy. I just wanted to leave, so I said something like, this isn't just because of the room, it's the promises that were broken and how you treat me. I'd give them examples of things that he's done to hurt me, including intimidation, and when I mentioned it, Becca snorted and rolled her eyes at me and told me that I'm being dramatic with the word harassment, and it was towards my mom, not me. Me and Becca got into an argument, but it was more like me going, okay, sure, but you still did this, and her excusing it and raising her voice. I decided to end that and just tell them that I'm not going to reconcile with them. If I have to talk to them in the future, I will only if necessary, but for now, I don't want to build a relationship since we haven't had one in years. When I asked when my mom was coming back, they told me she wasn't until Monday. This is when I got really upset and went outside. I didn't want to be inside or around them at all. I called and texted my mom for an hour straight. I even walked to a small plaza nearby so I could just be away from them, and my mom didn't answer, and it was getting late.
This is so whack, dude. Like, so now trust in the mom's broken now because she lied and was like, yeah, I'll set you up and we'll have a conversation. Then she ditched you and she's like, actually, you're going to spend a weekend with the people you despise.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was such a huge whiff from the mom right there.
I didn't want to involve my friends or anything, but it seemed like the only choice, so I asked one of my friends if she could come pick me up and if I could stay with her. She said yes, and now I'm at her house. She's doing homework right now, so I'm just in her living room watching TV, waiting for her to be done. Her mom told me I could stay the whole weekend if I'm okay with going to church on Sunday and can borrow my friend's clothes. Classic move. And another classic move is for you to go to your favorite podcast platform right now. Where could that be, Dakota?
It could be Spotify or iHeartRadio or Apple Podcasts.
And search up these magic words.
Okay, story time.
And boom, you will be welcomed with so many stories. Your heart has to be content.
And your heart's going to go, nom, 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 nom.
And if it's not content, we'll have more for you coming soon.
Eating up all that story juice.
And
Yeesh.
yeah, dude, clutch friend.
Yeah, good friend. It's like, that was what I was going to say when we were talking about like earlier, like, all right, who do you lean on? Like your guidance counselor? Like, it's like, yeah, if it was me, I'd be like, friends, my friends.
Yeah.
I must lean on my friends. But I don't know, man. It's crazy to think. I did see a comment where it's like, as soon as this conversation wasn't just you and your dad, I would have been like, wait, hold on. This is not what I signed up for.
Yeah.
I'm just talking to you. I don't have anything to say to these people. They're irrelevant to me.
Yeah,
They're your family. I don't want anything to do with them.
This is me and you, man.
Yeah.
Both parents are going to lose her. Yeah, true. To wrap it up, I texted my mom and let her know I'm staying with a friend, and I still haven't heard back from her. I think she turned her phone off, Honestly, I want to cry out of anger. I'm so confused as to what happened. I'm mad, very mad, but also very numb. I don't know what this means. I left my mom voicemails crying, asking why she left. It wasn't picking up. Venting to her. I guess maybe I feel numb because of that. Who knows? I'll try to give you guys an update, but who knows when that will be.
Yeah.
And that's the end of that one.
My sister is tearing my business apart. I want to remove her.
Cut her out.
Cut her out of that
Tear
biz.
her out of it.
Yeah, and there's a trigger warning here for physical violence. Sisters might be fighting. Let's find out what's going on here. Okay, so a little background on me and my family. I graduated from high school at 13 and college at 17.
Are you a genius? Are you some sort of genius?
Ooh. I started tutoring and teaching music lessons at the age of 12 and incorporated into an LLC at 21 when I finished my third bachelor's and started my master's PhD in education.
Who are you?
I now have a successful tutoring business with 9 on my team, including me and my new husband.
How old is OP right now?
I don't know, but it's like...
Do we have ages, Keon? For OP, like current day? Because that's insane.
It is. The sister is 20. Oh, no. OP is 23.
What?
Sister is 21.
I'm sorry, she's got like multiple bachelors at 17.
Yeah,
she's married.
chop,
She's
chop.
speed running.
Yeah,
Hurry up.
Speed running.
What are
Is
you
this
doing
freaking,
at
like
23, Sophia?
Doogie
Yeah.
Howser?
How did you pull a Doogie Howser out of there, out of nowhere? You just like Neil Patrick Harris, don't you? Yeah,
doesn't?
okay, there
I've
you
never
go.
seen Doogie Howser.
I know, you just know Doogie Howser because NPH.
Yeah.
I pay my employees almost $30 an hour and support my husband and myself fairly comfortably. By the way, this comes from user Ellie Zarin. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, my parents divorced when I was 7, and I got both my brains and my looks from my dad, from whom I and the rest of the family are estranged.
Is your dad like attractive?
Apparently, he's an attractive rocket scientist, super turbo genius.
Is your dad Doogie Howser?
He's
Your
like,
dad
if
Doogie
Brad
Howser?
Pitt lived in space.
Oh, wow.
What?
We're just guessing. There's actually a movie where Brad Pitt's in space and he has to fight space pirates.
Which movie?
I can't remember. I think it's Ad Astra. That's what it was. Yep, moon pirates. My entire life, I've been told that I have a genetic predisposition to be lazy, just like your father. I had a lot of accidents and daily migraines and slept a lot as a kid and caught pneumonia no less than 3 times a year between the ages of 10 and 18. What? Your lungs shouldn't be working.
Oh, my goodness.
What are we doing? Is this real? 3 times a year for 8 years. That's like 24 cases of pneumonia.
Jeez.
I don't think you can live after you get pneumonia 24 times. Can you research that, Keon? Throughout all this, I still excelled. But despite my early diplomas, major scholarships, and successful businesses, my mother is able to find fault and doesn't even believe that I ever got that sick as a child, and that my business isn't actually successful, and accuses me of being on welfare. I just got married, and this past year finally got diagnosed with epilepsy. I've likely had it my entire life, which would have caused the migraines, chronic fatigue, and constant viral infections, and left untreated, I went from small, barely noticeable, non-thrashing seizures to several grand mal a day. Epilepsy increases your predisposition for viral infections?
I don't know, I guess.
That's crazy. I didn't know that. My family does not and has never believed that I'm really sick. At my wedding in March, my mom went around to the entire extended family telling them I have a substance problem because I was recently given prescriptions for medical devil's lettuce and the pain pills.
Oh my, why? I'm wondering why you invite, I mean, like, I know she's your mom, but if I had a family member who was constantly lying about me and didn't believe that I had like medical issues that a doctor presumably has given you information about, like has given you proof of, I would not invite them to my wedding.
Like you're having seizures. Are they not seeing you having seizures?
They're like, there OP goes again, being dramatic.
Look at her doing
Why
her.
don't you sign up for theater?
Yeah. Why don't you sign up for dance classes? You're doing your little ground dance over there.
Oh my goodness.
Jeez, Louis. I mean, what do you... Oh, their parents are so dumb. It's almost...
That's
I can't even believe
yeah,
it.
That's not even a hidden, like, illness. That's a pretty in-your-face illness.
My mother also cornered my husband right after the honeymoon and lectured him about how he married a clinical hypochondriac and how he has to help protect her from herself in regard to my lazy nature and substance abuse problems. I've been in therapy for 5 years trying to figure out how to deal with my mom and am unmedicated and remarkably mentally stable, even for the average person who doesn't have a crippling brain disease. And for the record, I drink maybe once a month. I don't take my pain pills at all and never tried devil's lettuce before I got my prescription. Fast forward to late May. I get my test results back from the neurologist. The diagnosis is official. She revokes my driving privileges, says I'm no longer allowed to work, and gives me a laundry list of other things I'm not allowed to do, including bathing alone or being home alone. I start getting treatment. Dang, is that?
How do you, I mean, presumably you get some sort of like medical government, like the government starts giving you medical
Yeah, I would assume you're on
payments.
disability
Yeah,
now.
disability payments. But wow, that is tough.
That's severe, and it's so annoying having to know that your mom's gonna be like, "Oh, you lying?
Yeah.
Are you lying about all this?"
I mean, honestly, I wouldn't like. You don't have to prove anything to your mom.
truly.
If she's gonna act like that, then you don't owe her a relationship.
Yeah.
You know, you can still leave a door open for if she comes back and is kind and apologetic, but you don't owe her anything.
Yeah. Or you could just start talking to mom like, "Oh, mom, you've just been eating too much dirt today,
Yeah.
haven't you?" And she'll be like, "I don't eat dirt," and she'll be like, "Classic mom."
Classic mom,
Always
eating her
saying she
dirt.
doesn't eat dirt. You eat like a
Yeah.
cubic meter of dirt every day.
Just lied to her, man.
Anyway. Meanwhile, my sister drops out of nursing school, gets a $725 an hour job at a fast food joint, and moves back in with my parents. Now, most of our students are beginning violin or piano students, K-12 students who need homework help, and the occasional homeschooler whose parents aren't ready to teach trigonometry. The chicks finished all but 1 year of nursing school and played violin and piano for 10 years. Not hard, right? I decide to hire her. Oh, right. So my sister. I'm hiring my sister who dropped out of nursing school. I decided to hire her to take my students so that I will no longer have to work, and because it made my heart ache to see my sister working minimum wage. I assign a senior employee to be my manager, and my husband and I leave for his parents' house 200 miles away in the mountains, where I can be out of the city to recover and have more physical support. Remember, I'm not allowed to be left alone.
You literally are doing like the classic, like moving to the mountains for fresh air.
Yeah. Didn't they do that in that movie,
The Wind Rises.
The Shining?
I haven't seen The Shining. Have you seen The Wind Rises?
Yeah?
Okay, good. Yeah, they go to the mountain. She goes to the mountains. She has tuberculosis.
Can't believe that you've
Sad
never
movie.
seen The Shining.
Also, there's no fixed number how many times you can get pneumonia and it will be fatal. So
Wow, yeah.
I mean, I don't. I think it just depends on other health factors and stuff. Like for like the Pope, he had double pneumonia because I think he had like he had like childhood
Double
illness.
pneumonia?
Yeah, it was something like he had a childhood illness, and so that was why it so severely affected
And
him.
somebody took pneumonia and said double it and give it to the
Double
next
it,
person?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
double it and give it to the next pope.
Don't do that
Oh,
with
no.
pneumonia. Pope-monia. I set my sister's salary at what I charge per hour, not taking a cut because I'm stupid and generous this way. Before I leave, my sister shows up at my house at 7 a.m. unannounced. I wake up, open the door, and the bright sun outside triggers a seizure. I
Oh.
collapse.
That is so hard.
That's wild, dude. You got to get some Stevie Wonders on, man. You got to get the
Yeah.
sunglasses.
I
get the
mean,
wraparounds.
I mean, there must be so many triggers that OP can't even like,
Oof.
tell what's gonna trigger it.
Man. When I come to, she's sitting on my couch smoking my devil's lettuce. I want paid, she says.
I think I want to be paid.
I want paid.
I think that's a.
No, I'm going to say that that's exactly what she said. I want paid. She says, not commenting on my seizure, which is the first grand mal she's witnessed to my knowledge. And I want it in cash. I want pay and I want in cash. She refuses to give me her direct deposit information so I can pay her automatically like I do my other employees. I pay her in cash. She leaves.
I would fire her.
This can't be real, dude.
I would fire her. I'm
This
sorry.
cannot be
Your
real.
sister watches you have a seizure, does nothing, and then says, "Give me money."
You are too smart, having graduated college at 17. You're too smart to not know that you don't have that. Your sister just disrespected you.
Yeah,
Your
dude,
sister just disregarded
This is like
you.
that scene in Sinners, and I won't say anything further. Yeah, you don't know what I'm talking about.
This
when
is
she says, "I
crazy.
want to be paid," that doesn't make you think.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
My husband and I leave town, leaving his best friend of 3 years and the most qualified employee in charge. We've had only one problem with her. Before we left, she suggested docking her own pay because she ran our account numbers and didn't think our profit margin was fair for as much as I work. I give her a few extra duties, but didn't dock her salary. First major problem, I go to run payroll and realize there's not enough money in the business account. I investigate. Several families haven't paid my sister's students. I call them. Several gave her checks without a name because they were confused about if they were supposed to pay her or the company. I call my sister and she admits that our mother was pressuring her to cash the checks for herself to avoid taxes and make sure I don't take a cut. She says she chickened out and will give the checks to my manager. 2 weeks later, my manager still doesn't have them and tells me that my sister told her a similar story regarding my mother. I overdraw over $2,000 running payroll. Hey, so right now, immediately,
I don't understand how you could have run a successful business and then let your sister do this.
right, well, it wasn't that the sister's not in charge of anything.
I know.
It was the sisters taking the checks and they didn't.
No, I understand, but OP has said at the beginning of the story that she's running a successful business.
Yes.
How can you run a successful business and then be like, well, my sister's stealing money and I'm not
Right.
going to fire her?
Right, no, it needs to be like, hey, so you can't do that, and that'll be a great lesson for you to use at your next job because you can't work here
Can't
anymore.
work here.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
And if you don't fix this, you're going to get arrested for it. My manager, Julie, goes to my mother's house to physically get the checks from my sister. My mom tries to tell my manager that I have Munchausen's disease, where you fake serious illness to get medical attention, and that I'm lazy, not accountable, and not doing my job. When I confront my mother about it, she tells me that my manager is lying. She's trying to steal my husband and my business, and that there's a major conspiracy going on in your company, and it has nothing to do with your sister. Honestly, your mother sounds very mentally ill.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like
I just don't understand why we're continuing to have a relationship with people who are so awful.
honestly, at this point, I think it sounds like the mom's almost having paranoid delusions.
Yeah.
Where it's like, she's like,
"You're lying to me."
I know you're actually not sick. And it's like, I had 3 seizures this week. I
One in
know
front
it.
of my sister.
There's a grand conspiracy around about you being sick, and now your manager wants your husband, and it's actually your mom is ill. Anyway, I call my mother on her BS and tell her that I really am sick, and that if she can't be nice to me, don't talk to me at all. Great. It'll be a great break from your drama and verbal abuse, she says, and has not talked to me since. Meanwhile, my sister contacts me. This little witch is an a-hole. I don't want to work with her anymore. Me, okay. Contact Julie and she'll have someone else take it.
Why is she still working for you? She stole your money.
Yeah.
Why is she still working for you? Is she even good at her job? Seemingly no, if this is what she's saying.
I'm going to read the rest of the story, but I'm reading the rest of it from the perspective that this is rage bait. That's what I'm doing.
I can only read it from the perspective that it's all true.
Yeah. So we'll have both then. So I say, all right, contact Julie. Another tutor will take this student. She says, no, this is your business. You deal with it. Me, I say, Julie is your manager. Talk to her. The following week, I'm not making enough money. I need more hours. Stop taking out taxes. She doesn't know what taxes are?
She's like, you keep taking money from me. And Opie's like, no. So the way that the world works is that there are taxes that are applied to all of your checks.
Right, and it doesn't
She's
go
like,
to
no,
me.
you're taking my money.
It goes to the government, not me. I'm not the government. Ugh. Okay, I say, if you want me to stop withholding taxes, you have to put it on your W-4. Julie can help you with it. I'll see what I can do about hours, but the student you gave up was 8 hours a week, and it'll take me some time to replace that gig. She says, but your job is to make sure I have work. The following Friday, I call her asking if she needs any help with building summer homework for her students. She says no. The next Tuesday, I text her and ask the same thing. She ignores my text message, asking why she hasn't been paid yet. She has delayed turning checks in again. I explain that Julie will write her a check as soon as she turns in all the tuition. 3 days later, this past Friday, she texts, I'm firing the Johnsons. Give them to someone else. I won't be showing up anymore. Thanks. Let Julie know. She says, no, you're my boss. You handle it.
Dude, you can't keep complaining about this and keep her on. Just fire her. You can't. You're like, we already know that you're not supposed to be handling any of this.
Yeah. Thank God this woman didn't become a nurse, though. Can you imagine?
Yeah,
Can you imagine this
yikes.
person trying to put an IV in you?
She'd be like, she's like stabbing your arm. She's like, can't find the vein.
I'm firing this patient. Her
She's
veins
like,
are messed up.
Your veins aren't even there. And you're like, I think you're not doing it right. She's like, no, your arm's messed up.
Yeah, I don't know. I think, maybe OP is a super genius, but they just don't have the emotional or the people intelligence to know, like, hey, your sister's bad news for your business. You got to fire her.
Bad news.
Family and business, keep them separated, like Biggie Smalls said.
Well, not always. Sometimes it works.
Sure, but it can become messy.
Sometimes it works out great.
This is not. I don't count this. I don't count what we're doing. Although that is funny. I'm like, don't do that. Meanwhile,
Don't do it
like,
ever.
actually, well, yeah. Well, I woke up this morning, checked the calendar, and saw that the Johnsons were scheduled for today. I contact my manager, and she says my sister hasn't said anything, even though they work some families together and carpool. I call and text my sister, did you talk to Julie about the Johnsons? Are they scheduled for today? She says, yes, no.
Those are two different answers.
Right. And me, knowing she hadn't talked to Julie, I say, when did you talk to her and why are they scheduled today in the system? No response. I ask my manager to do the same thing. My sister responds to my manager with several long texts about how I'm lazy, not doing my job, and how she's not getting enough help, and I keep passing the buck on to other people. So she talks about how she's ready to quit. Oh, thank God. But knows my business will fall apart without her. At this point, the appointment is in less than 2 hours. I have Julie call the family. She discovers that the family was expecting my sister to show up today. I tell Julie to cancel the appointment and say that I'll return to the city within the week and will take over their case again. This is not a great thing because I'm still having several seizures a day and I'm not supposed to work. My sister has still not texted me. It's been 3 hours. The answer seems obvious.
Well, yeah, when she
Good.
said I want to quit and then she quit.
I'm glad the obvious answer seems obvious. Am I blurry? Let's keep going. She is a crappy employee and sister, but the backlash from my family will be incredible if I fire her. And I don't want to be the reason my sister is unemployed.
You're
But
not the reason
wouldn't
your sister
be.
is unemployed. Your sister quit. Your sister quit. And also, if there's family backlash, cut them off.
Yeah, at this point, your mom sounds like she needs help.
Yeah.
And again, if anyone blames this for you, be like, I'm not. Where's her accountability?
I'm also wondering what the husband's doing in all of this, because a lot of people in the chat are saying, like, why is he not stepping in? Isn't this both of their business? What's going on here?
I don't know. He's probably busy, trying to help her not have 3 seizures a day.
That's true. Well, he's not doing a good job if she's having to go back into the city
he's
to work.
He's getting it on all fronts. There's
Yeah.
no way. He's poor guy. I don't have any hard evidence that she's stolen money, and all the clients she has, even the ones she's fired, absolutely adore her.
What do you mean? What do you mean you don't have any evidence? She said, oh, yeah, mom told me not to give them to you.
Anyway, that said, if any of my other employees had talked to me this way or withheld checks, they would have been fired on the spot. This is a right-to-work state, though I treat my employees very well. We work with children, and I can't afford to take BS. My manager is getting ready to go out of town for a week, and if I fire my sister, my husband and I will have to return to the city a month early, cover both of their schedules, and start looking for another employee to replace my sister. We will also have to deal with huge backlash from my family and possibly violent intimidation from my sister. She's bipolar and not medicated because my family doesn't believe in illnesses you can't see. She has physically me several times over the years. The last time hitting me square in the face on Christmas Eve over a comment I made in response to her calling me a lazy freeloader. I'd been home from college less than 72 hours and had spent most of the time sleeping.
And you're letting her be around children on your behalf?
Yeah, I don't know.
Unmedicated bipolar who has literally already attacked you, and you're like, yeah, she'd be great to teach kids.
Well, yeah, because she's got the piano and violin lessons, and you know what? And she likes
and
to
violence.
She
lessons.
does knife and chainsaw juggling during the lessons. She does flame spitting.
She's J.K. Simmons in Whiplash.
Yeah,
she's like again.
And she's instigating online fights with people, telling them to pull up.
There's a 5-year-old, and she's like, "Are you rushing or dragging? Are you rushing or dragging?"
Throwing symbols. Yes. How do I handle this without getting myself unalived?
Dude, if you think that your sister is going to attack you for firing her, then call the police. Get a restraining order and fire her.
Silence people who think the story is real. A person who knows the story is fake is talking.
I think we have to operate as if all of our stories are real.
I agree with you, but this is so crazy.
I think
this
we have
is
to
so
operate.
ridiculous.
Everyone else can think that it's fake, but I think we have to give advice as if it were real.
And also, I just wanted to make that. I wanted to reference that meme from Kingdom of Heaven. Oh, you don't even know what I'm talking about?
No.
Oh, sorry.
I just thought you were interrupting.
I was
me.
referencing a meme.
I thought you were just telling me to shut up.
No, that was Ed Norton's character. He plays the shoot, what's his name? He's based on a real guy. He was like a warrior king, like had leprosy and he died real early, but he was like a genius. Can't remember his name. Dang, that's bothering me. But yeah, it's like, what do you do here? It's like what you realistically do is you fire your sister and then you stop talking to your family members that think you're lying about having seizures 3 times a day. Rely on your husband, improve your business. Just literally don't worry about these people at all. You're 23 and you have a master's degree and you're worried about these people? She's fired. But it did not go well. My husband and I decided to return to the city after escaping from it. But I made the decision to call my sister and have the conversation with her while I was still 200 miles away. It felt cowardly at first, but now I'm so glad I did. Right before I made the call, my manager forwarded me some texts that my sister had sent her. In them, my sister completely tore apart my character and told my manager she was ready to quit and that she had started calling in sick to students just so I don't have to deal with it. I say to my sister, so I hear you're frustrated and wanting to quit. She says, yes, I'm frustrated because you're not doing your job and telling me what I'm supposed to do with these students. I reply, I and the rest of the team are always available to help, but you have to communicate with us. I asked you 3 times last week if you needed help and you never responded. She says, this does not fall on me. This is your business and you can't keep passing the buck to your employees. I have fully communicated my frustrations and you've done nothing. Nope, one-word text and insults do not qualify as adequate communication, particularly when you did not ask for help. When you need help, you have to ask for it, but you can't just call in sick to avoid dealing with it. But maybe I was sick. Okay, then you're supposed to call someone so we can send a substitute. I can't have an employee who just doesn't show up to work. If anyone else on the team pulled this, they'd be gone. She hung up on me. I had a meltdown, but knew it was for the best and felt a little vindicated that she was the one who hung up, even though I was doing my best to be nice. Again, we're caring way too much. We're caring so much about the perception of this situation, about the politics, about, ooh, are they going to be mad?
Is she going to be upset with me? Are my family going to be upset with who cares? If you need a restraining order, get the restraining order. Otherwise, who cares what they think? These people are cray-cray.
Yes. 2 hours later, she sent me a text. I hope your husband never wakes up out of his trance because very few people in your life like you. And you'd be effed if he did. I felt sorry for you as a kid because you had no friends. But the truth was, even your friends couldn't stand you because I can't even stand you and never have been able to. We may be blood, but we're not friends. I hope you like the bed you've made for yourself and that the rest of your life is just like this. I responded with, if that's how you feel, don't contact me. Don't call me. Don't come by my house. We're done. I then burst into tears. Dang it. They should have been tears of joy.
Yeah, I mean, this is more realistic in that you're having to set this boundary with your family and your sibling, and now you're feeling a lot of emotions from it. That's fair. That's reasonable.
This is true. I then burst into tears, stopped them up with some adult party favors, and my husband immediately started to load the car to return to the city.
Can you, this is just like a medical thing, like, can you still drink if you have like a pretty severe epilepsy? I actually don't know.
I have no
I'm
idea.
asking that question. I presumably
do not know.
if OP's doing it.
I would guess so. Or maybe that's why she keeps having 3 seizures a day. Because she
Hopefully
can't
not.
stop. She's not putting down the tequila. I have no idea. A little while later, my sister Sarah, 19, called me to say that our sister Amy had deleted me from Facebook and made a public post about how she has only one sister and that she's amazing, talking smack about me and tagging Sarah to make sure I saw it. Sarah immediately removed it from her own wall to spare my feelings, and I never did see it. Sarah is now getting the wrath of Amy, and Sarah is so fed up with the family drama that she's leaving the country for the rest of the summer before returning to Boston. We got back to the city last night. I didn't sleep most of the night. I had a seizure in the parking lot of the grocery store today and woke up in the back of an ambulance. I came to in complete hysterics, fear and embarrassment because I've never had 911 called on me before, and the emotional pain as well. As I told my husband, I don't miss either of them. I just wish I had a mother and a sister. After I was discharged, I was able to get an emergency appointment with my therapist, and it helped a lot. I'm on ordered bed rest for 48 hours, even though I'm technically on rest until September, when I'll be to the full dose of my anticonvulsants. I want to thank everyone who commented on my previous post. The perspective and courage you gifted me has helped me finally set some boundaries with my harmful family. My littlest sister and I are on good terms, and I'm so happy she's removing herself from that situation. I have subscribed to r/raised by narcissists and appreciate the multiple referrals. And there's an update. Let's just get into it.
Let's get into it.
As I stated in the comments, I had my manager contact my sister confirming the termination, instructing her not to contact any students, requesting her final timesheet, and telling her that her final paycheck will be mailed to her along with her W-2 and a formal statement of termination. I began calling families to notify them that their appointments will now be with a different tutor, and it turns out that my sister continued to see students, even though I explicitly told her not to. I tried to contact her, and she blocked calls from me, my husband, and our manager. I left her a voicemail reinstating that she could not have any contact with any students, and my husband sent her another text with the same information. And by the way, you can send yourself over to your podcast platform of choice to listen to full episodes with stories just like this. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, wherever you listen, just search OK Storytime.
My point that I was going to make right now is I have a friend who works as a tutor, and she, in her contract, she is not, like, if she were to quit or stop working with the company, she would not be able to work with any of the students or she would be sued. So hopefully OP has some sort of legal recourse to go after her sister, and I feel like she doesn't want to, or she wouldn't want to, but she should absolutely sue her sister for trying to steal her clients.
Meanwhile, families that were hers are one by one leaving the company. Some had already started paying her directly, and the others are upset that their child has to go through the emotional trauma of switching instructors. So far, the company has lost 4 families. I've informed the others to call the police if my sister arrives at their home. My manager has also informed me that my mom is now accusing me of stealing thousands of dollars of piano music from the family. I'm the only one in the family that plays the piano, and she delivered all the music to my house herself. I don't need to be told I've been stupid up to this point. What do I do next? This woman is actively, blatantly attempting to destroy my life.
You sue her. If you were smart, which, I mean, you graduated college very early, you would hopefully have a contract that says if she tries to continue working with your students after she quits or after she's terminated, then she's sued. Then you can take legal action. You should have a contract that says that. Man.
So she's got all the book smarts and none of the street smarts.
None of those street smarts.
0% street smarts, 100% book smarts.
To be fair, I mean, that is a possibility. She is quite young. She's only 23.
I mean, yeah,
You can be very book smart and not necessarily know all of the ins and outs of working with people in a business.
What do you do now? I don't know what you
Sue.
do now.
Sue.
I
You
think
sue your sister.
What really does matter is what you should have done then. And
I
it's
think
like,
now you sue your
as
sister.
soon as your sister becomes as soon as any employee, as soon as you're like, man, if any other employee did this, I'd be firing them.
Yeah.
That's when you should have fired your
Fire them.
sisters right then. Yeah. And now you know.
Now you know.
And I know that was the end of that story. That's what I know. And that was maybe real.
I was doing some super sleuthing
Yeah.
on Josephine. I think it's real because
I was always on this train.
the account is pretty active for a while, of like not just like they're all tied to OP and like her conditioning and all her like family trauma, and there's a lot more that I was like, whoa. It gets into some spicy stuff with her husband, but it's like, okay, great.
Joke's on you, everyone. I was never off that train.
No, that's a role play Reddit account.
No, it's
Yep, that's a person pretending to be another person.
Like,
People
I found
have epilepsy.
Nope.
Yeah.
No, they don't.
I found
What?
one. I found one like right now. Should I put my husband or myself on payroll? Like,
Yep, that they're
Jokes
trying
on
their
you guys.
best to pull the wool over our eyes.
I don't think anyone puts that much. Okay, maybe some people do.
switching my employees to an independent contractor.
Yeah, it's more just complete.
Those
It's
are-
so unbelievable
What?
that this person doesn't have
She
the
was 23.
self-respect to be like, I guess
lot of
I'm not a
23-year-olds don't have
lazy. But it's like that's one thing if you're like working at a cafe, like I was doing at 23. This person has a tutoring business and they graduated college at 17.
Yeah, but you can be book
we
smart.
said this though. Yeah, we said this that OP is extremely book smart.
Yeah,
But
just doesn't.
street
Husband.
smart, they could be
What
the
about the
same
husband?
thing.
He's
Oh my
also
God.
23.
Folks, I don't think epilepsy doesn't exist. For God's sakes.
What?
I don't know. I
All right,
don't know who
someone
that
clip
was.
it.
Demonic says my boyfriend is epileptic, Dakota. And he isn't real.
He's fake.
And he's fake.
This
He's
is
built. He's
this
built.
is a
he's,
scary
he was,
version of
he
Dakota
came out
where
of
he
3D
wears-
printer.
where he wears sunglasses.
Sunglasses inside.
Yeah, Dakota wearing sunglasses is evil Dakota. Oh, that's scary. Oh, Jesus. You look too scary. Stop it. Snorting Catnip says, catfish. People fake being different people for years. It's possible.
I mean, look.
I'm operating on the real.
I think
I'm
it is
operating on
real,
real.
and here's some real stuff, man. You need to have like a what's it called? Remember like the bit, like the anger translator.
Yeah.
For-
You
but
need
you need
someone
like
to
a-
fire people. You
you
need
need
to
like
give your
a-
manager firing power.
Interactions with your family translator. That's what you need.